3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome everyone to Charmed Fantasy, where we are running Sleepless in Drakkenheim, a module dedicated to the incredible Dungeon Dude craft work of a new D&D setting, Dungeons of Drakkenheim. Drakkenheim is a place where a meteor had crashed into the realm of this once thriving kingdom, and that was 15 years ago, and everyone is recovering in a state of almost post-apocalyptic mysticism. And we are being led in this journey by our featured dungeon master of great legend and many tattoos, Josh Henderson. More tattoos than you can even see right now, let me tell you. And more, they're just growing. We are joined by allies of the channel here who you have been watching, no doubt, for many sessions now, Laurie and Isaac and myself. And so, yeah, we'll go around the table introducing who we are, what we're playing, what the hell's going on. I'm Charm. Welcome. Happy to have you. I'm happy to be a player as a lifelong DM, and in Drakkenheim, no less, playing Erasmus, formerly Saint Wraith, now Von Kessel. I got it this time. I wrote it down. I used the Laurie method, sticky notes everywhere, like a crime scene. Yeah. But Von Kessel, aka Ghost, recently, 18-year-old, but that doesn't really matter in the medieval realm of Drakkenheim, where adulthood is, you witness your first kill and walk away from it, but without screaming. And that's Drakkenheim survival in a nutshell. But he has become an apothecary, specifically of a mutagenist subclass, where we are taking that formulaic alchemy flavor, and I am taking it to more litanies and spirituality of being possessed by the spirit of a saint that allows that transformative and protective magic to exist in a different kind of context, in a realm without gods, in a place without hope. I love the juxtaposition in Drakkenheim to have someone who's holding on to something that isn't science. So that is me, human apothecary. And I will pass it on to Laurie. Introduce yourself. Tell us what you're playing.
Fair enough. Hey, y'all, I'm Laurie. I'm playing Ryan DeLion. Ryan is a cosmic warlock, digging the Dungeon Dude subclasses, having a lot of fun with it. Ryan, short story, her family's lost. She's the only one left. She feels like she definitely doesn't have anything to lose. So her goal at this point is pretty much to be a part of this group and help people going into Drakkenheim to survive the horrors and terrors that exist there. And, she's not opposed to pulling out some artifacts, treasures, things that might get a little bit of money, pulling that out of Drakkenheim as well. So she's here on a mission, and we'll see what happens next. Kick it to Isaac.
Yes, I'm Isaac. I'm the designer behind Better Monsters on Reddit and Conflux Creatures on Patreon. My wife and I are Conflux Dice as well. I make literally thousands of free D&D monsters, and they're all really good. But
if I do say so myself.
I would say you would be a fool not to use them. A fool.
All of that for sure. I'm playing Phalles the Curious, a wizard, technically a malfeasant, though, only in the narrowest of terms, who has been dabbling in some of the more esoteric magics of Drakkenheim, and it's been working out really well for him.
Still alive, shit.
He's down a couple organs, but maybe up some others. So
it all balances out, really.
What are you, a space marine? Gee,
Yeah.
Getting all kinds of new organs.
Yeah, he's a little short on skin these days. His number of eyes has fluctuated from 2 to 7 at one point.
Way more fluctuation than I should fluctuate. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Now he's down to 0.
4 out of 5 optometrists hate it.
Yeah.
But he's not too worried about that. He's doing all right.
Make an enemy of optometrists and dermatologists
Yeah.
everywhere.
Oh, only Phales is like, I've got 0 eyes and it's fine.
Yeah, with this one weird trick, you too can save money on your optometry and dermatology bills.
Yeah. Don't need a skincare routine when you don't have skin. What a hack.
Yeah.
There you
Ignore
go.
the
Yeah.
downsides. It's
Nailed it.
fine. It's
Nailed it.
fine.
Awesome. And yeah, last but never least, the master storyteller who's taking us through this epic module and making it feel fresh with every episode, tossing every turn with the handbrake on full grip for us here as we're
Boy.
spinning out of control. But yeah, Drakkenheim Drift, Josh Henderson.
Yeah. Love
Nice.
that. Drakkenheim Drift. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. We are still deep in the bowels of the inner city of Drakkenheim with our group of 3 here, but this time they have a retinue. I think there was 8 total, so 7 guards, and then Zachariah of the Knight of the Silver Order, having made their way from the clock tower, which was a place of respite. This group joined them to kind of make their way through College Gate, conquer it if possible, maybe rename it Zachariah Gate. Hard to say what we're gonna run into here, but that's kind of where we left off last time. So as you stand in front of the gate, you notice it looks like layered cracked glass as you approach, and within each pane of glass seems to be like an alternate or a multiversal timeline. So some of you see Drakkenheim as it is now, except engulfed in flame. Some of you see it in better days, but more magic-led days. There's arcane lamps. There's carriages being driven by arcane power. There's a couple people walking through here, but not large crowds. And it kind of takes you back for a second as you realize that everything past this gate, it doesn't seem to vibe with what you're standing in right now, which is almost like a completely destroyed almost arc around the gate itself. Some of it is Drakkenheim has fully fallen and nature has fully reclaimed it. So each of you individually see these kind of films fractured in the glass.
The kind of the sort of like fractured panes that we see. For
Mhm.
each of us, do those all look the same?
They look.
Like I know they look different between different people, but like
Yeah.
for Phales, does it look like he's looking through a single image through a cracked pane, or is it several images even just for him?
So it's several images even just for him, but each one looks like if you were to step to the left or right, you'll see the image in it shifts. So you know if you're looking at, let's say, the overgrown version or the arcane future of Drakkenheim, it's almost like you're looking through a window, right? You can see things as you kind of step left to right. It's not a flat picture. It's not like someone hung up a crude drawing in a gate. It looks real enough, but each pane is a different.
Erasmus, what do you expect is on the other side of that?
I don't rightly know. Why am I Scottish? I have been trying to get his accent. I don't know, but I'm starting to wonder if I'm saying correctly. Now, how are your?
I should hope not.
How are your eyes?
They're managing. He glares at you out of like vacant sockets.
It's like glaring over here. Like I'm like moving to get in the glare, not away from it.
When Ryan sees the image of the Drakkenheim that existed before the meteor fell,
Mm-hmm.
he sees it and starts to take a step towards it.
Wait,
Oh,
are you seeing the healing Drakkenheim like I am?
Ghost, do you see?
It's beautiful. It's everything I've wanted.
DM, what are the odds that this is a window into different timelines? Like, is that something achievable by magic, or is this something less elaborate than, or is this likely to be something less elaborate than that?
Go ahead and roll Arcana.
All right.
Let's find out.
Oh no.
All right. That's going to be a 18.
18. Okay. That's kind of the vibe that you're getting as you're looking at it. Is it's it would make sense because nothing else kind of fits the bill. It is possible, but very much like Phalese knows, you are either incredibly powerful and can do this, or you are not humanoid and kind of are given this innate power.
Okay, but we're not like operating like time cop rules, where like if we walk into an alternate world and touch ourselves, we'll explode.
Right, exactly.
I love the reference so much to the point where I want to do the splits on something useless.
Nice. Do it.
Yeah, it kind of looks like you're looking through windows into other timelines or multiversal. Is kind of the vibe.
All right.
If this is if this is a doorway, that might actually be less dangerous, because if what you've described is an illusion, then there is someone waiting on the other side of it to murder us. Josh, did you say there was any like stealthy way to approach this?
I'm gonna be honest, not really, because the there's like a half sphere around the gate that's just burnt down to the foundations. So like you could try, but the chances of it actually being stealthy are pretty low.
Burnt down as in like crater or like
no, like somebody had set a flame to
so like
the buildings.
Got it.
So,
okay.
Erasmus, I think we should just prepare to be assailed the instant we pass through.
That's my secret, Phalese. I'm always assuming we're going to be assailed in Drakkenheim.
Ryan does a little bit of this. We got some smarks coming. We're always ready for anything here. We have to be.
Yeah. Now, the whether illusion or passageway, powerful magic of this has the air of the Amethyst Academy about it. With my robes, if there are wizards on the other side, I might be able to buy us some goodwill if I go out front.
We've seen it work before.
I will need someone to help me though. Rasmus, would you go with me?
Yeah, I've got your back, Phalese.
Okay.
And
we're approaching a little bit ahead of the rest of the group.
Yeah, I'll call it night. Sir Zacharias, are you ready to lead your men heroically to claim glory for the silver?
Keep your eyes peeled. There will definitely be someone who tries to kill us on the other side of this. Maybe before we get there.
I'd
he
be
like
disappointed
pushes
if there
his
wasn't.
way through his men, so he's not like leading his men. He pushes his way from the back after the attack that killed a couple of them. He's a little shaken, so he like moves up through his men. He's like, yes, of course, yes, absolutely. We will follow shortly after you proceed through the gate, and we will join you in dealing with whatever you find on the other side.
Outstanding. Stay close behind, and let's move quick because I'm blind and we're going to be taking fire in all likelihood.
Brilliant.
The guards are like, he's blind? I mean, yeah, he has no eyes. How could he possibly... Like, there's just like this conversation happening.
Wait, over here. Some things are better not understood.
No, don't worry. I'm not that blind. I'm just almost entirely blind.
He can see that you're all bravely leading, covering our flank. That's good enough.
No, I can't. Yes, I can. Absolutely.
Go with it, Phalese. Go with it.
And the Three Stooges enter scene left.
Yep.
I think we're just gonna try to like hoof it across.
Okay.
To like Kind of like juke it as we go in case there's somebody with a ballista on the other side.
So it's,
Amazing.
I imagine it's like you're walking like the sandworm walk
Yeah.
as you approach the gate for like no reason, just like a
We're doing the FromSoft somersaults.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Nice.
The Galaxy Quest shit.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
we are Sam Rockwell and Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
Nice.
100%.
And right, totally hypervigilant. It feels off that there's nothing here. I feel like Bailey's, you're right. There is something here. We just can't see it. Run fast, guys.
In the good outcome, we might simply become trapped in an alternate world.
And that'd be something new.
If it's the world I'm seeing, I would be just fine with it.
Excellent.
Ghost, that's the world that you should have had. It was wonderful.
Wait, are we seeing the same thing?
Yeah. So there's.
No,
like
I'm in character asking.
Sorry.
Are we seeing the same thing as I'm seeing a world that's being that's rebuilt after the damage?
Oh, no, I'm seeing the Drakkenheim I grew up with. It's beautiful. It's bustling. It's not real. It's not real.
Outstanding.
go.
If you're seeing different images, that means it's almost definitely not the trap you in different worlds option, and almost definitely the something is about to murder us option.
Good.
Why are you sounding so excited about this?
It's just good to know.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Okay.
let's
There's
take that
nothing
bold
scarier
step
than not
forward.
knowing.
We're ready.
Yep.
Let's get through this.
Sweet. So as you move ahead towards College Gate, doing the Galaxy Quest, Dark Souls,
My
Sandwalk.
stamina bar.
Yeah. As you move closer, the guards and Zachariah are just walking. Like they're not.
Just kind of
like,
keeping pace with us from
yeah,
behind.
yeah,
We got their
exactly.
shields up, maybe.
Yeah, like the first two do, and then after a little while, because it's it's a couple minutes, it's like a minute walk or something as they get to the gate. They definitely are just like, why am I like we're not being it, and they lower their shields and they just kind of like are walking. So there's like a 2-column group of people who are walking, and then 3 people who are like dodging as you approach the gate.
I'm imagining a really
Are we able
messed
to
up.
get all the way up to the gate without anything attacking us from the gate?
So
Sand
as you
worms.
approach the gate, because you 3 are ahead, I need everyone except for Phalese to go ahead and roll me a intelligence saving throw.
Oh god.
Really?
I'm being scared because I'm a wizard.
Yes,
No, that's definitely not it.
yes, that's exactly it.
Oh god.
Because you're as blind as a bat.
All right. I got a 16.
16. Okay.
I also got a 16.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay. Cool. So as you approach the gates, you are looking into these kind of alternate timelines or alternate dimensions of what Drakkenheim could be, or what Drakkenheim kind of is, and this kind of psyche-shattering weight starts to sit in your mind, and it starts to bother you, kind of like an itch you can't scratch, and it weighs heavier and heavier and heavier. But you eventually, as you're kind of staring at it, you're like, you know what? The Drakkenheim that I exist in, we're gonna fix. We're gonna make it better. It's gonna be improved in whatever way you would like it to. And you eventually just kind of shrug that off. And with it, once you make that realization, you kind of cognitively reach that conclusion. The weight kind of shifts off of you, and you realize that you were kind of under not attack in that moment, but the sheer weight of staring into multi, planes of existence or universes of existence weighs very heavily on the unprepared mind.
Do they like kind of halt as
Yeah.
that happens?
Yeah, it's like a stutter
Do they
step. So
have
like
it
there's like
together enough to stop Bailey's from continuing forward?
I'm assuming so. I'm assuming that because you can't really see that far,
He can see a little bit though. He'd keep going unless someone stopped him.
Yeah, it would be like
Erasmus, what do you think? Like, where's Erasmus's head in this moment? As it's swimming with this mental assault.
That is a good question. I would say I'm probably have like a hand on you, and instead of holding you back, I'd actually be lost in you leading me forward.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So like, Bailey's calls briefly back. Ryan, keep up. And as he moves forward, into the archway.
okay.
Good, and that helps. That kind of helps shake things a little bit, shake it off. Right. Yeah, of course. Okay.
So as you approach Bailey's, and it comes into view for you, because you haven't seen any of these visions yet.
No, I'm just fully out of breath from and feeling silly and dirty from doing too many somersaults.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone told you that there was a big threat ahead, so you decided to just roll your way to a gate.
I think the rolling was Bailey's idea. I think he read that in the combat manual at some point.
Yeah.
And he's just like, that's what you're supposed to do when
Moving
there's,
target. Yeah.
When there's missile like enemies that you can't see.
Yeah. You just roll. Moving target. Variability on height. You're fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you approach, I need an intelligence saving throw from you as you approach.
Was it not illusory?
It is not. No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
All right, that is gonna be a 14 for me.
Okay. So as you approach it, you actually, I'm imagining it like you are, kind of dirty and covered in dust and ash, and you approach this gate that you have been told that is in front of you and that there's enemies at possibly.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of approach it kind of out of breath, and you see what you're now close enough to see is like strands as opposed to shattered glass. But between each of the strands is a different universe, right? You see the different kind of path through Drakkenheim.
It's an interesting construction.
And as soon as you see that, all of a sudden, you weren't expecting it. The others had a little bit of time to prepare. You had 5 feet to prepare. It assaults your senses, and you immediately take...
Am I dead?
Maybe.
A big old question mark on that.
Draken dead.
16 psychic damage.
Oh, jeez.
As you kind of fall to your knees, and I need I think it's a D10 roll from you. Yeah, D10.
Okay, D10. That's a 4.
A 4. So as you view these other kind of universes or different dimensions of Drakkenheim, you fall to your knees, and one thought just rings out clear in your mind as you're staring into these multi-universal fractures. It's, I must wear a flesh coat made from my slain enemies to gain their strength. And that overwhelming feeling of...
Yes.
It makes sense to layer yourself in one's enemies. I can consume the power. Yeah. And you are mechanically you are incapacitated.
Trying to grow chitin when I could just adopt.
Just steal it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me write it down.
It's like Etsy. You're supporting local flesh businesses.
100%.
When Pheles drops to his knees, Ryan is just going to assume that he's getting hit with kind of what they got, what they felt. So he's going to shake it off. Shake it off. You're okay. We can get through this. Shake it off.
It's a flash of inspiration. A terrible headache. Wait. Like these strings. How do they work? Like he's going to begin plucking on them to see if he can sort of divine source of this magic. Is he still fascinated with the images?
I mean, yeah, they're interesting.
Okay.
But they're not overwhelming. Like after Ryan had
Okay.
shaken
He
you,
had its moments.
yeah, it's come in, kind of rattled your brain a bit. Now you want to wear, you assume that the best way to assume the strength of your enemies is to wear a flesh coat.
Absolutely.
Of theirs.
I mean, it just makes sense.
Yeah, it just tracks. But once that kind of overcomes you, you start to see like, oh, okay, cool. This is just cool pictures. Like there's a lot going on here, but like I can make sense of it now after being kind of shaken out of your incapacitation. And as you kind of play the harp on these strands,
yeah, especially since it's appearing to my my blind sight, which means that it isn't entirely illusory, which is very exciting. Yeah. So like I want to just sort of get a sense of what these strands are made out of, and like if it's anything familiar to me.
Yeah. So you go to pluck one, and you pluck one. Go ahead and roll nature.
Scalise, what are you doing? Can you stop acting like a crazy wizard in front of the silver guys? Just for once.
That's going to be a total of 8.
A total of 8. It doesn't snap, and it kind of twangs. You could swear that you've experienced something like this before, like that you've touched something like this before. It's like slightly sticky. It's thicker than you remember. Everybody go ahead and roll me a perception roll. Except for Phalese, you go ahead and roll it with disadvantage.
Phalese, you're embarrassing me in front of the non-wizards.
A natural 1.
Oh, God.
A natural, okay, you don't notice. You're too enamored by it.
Just plucking this thing over again. What have I heard that sound before?
14 here.
14.
G flat?
Yeah.
How long? No copyright issues.
Yeah.
17 in perception.
17, okay. So the two of you, having seen Phaley kind of drop to the ground and freak out, all the guards kind of approaching now with their shields up, right? Including Zechariah, and being like, is it safe to go through? This seems pretty dangerous. And you start to like look around to see, is this dangerous? And you notice about 6 or 7 large shapes descending from the top of the gate that seem to be large spiders. Yep.
What is that?
And as we see that, webs.
Run.
Webs, and there
webs,
are
of course.
6
Webs?
or 7 large spiders making their way down.
And I think you say,
Let's
yes,
go.
webs, of course, webs. And 2 of the guards just grab your arms and just sprint forward. Like one of them with the shield in front of you, and the other 2 are just carrying you. So you're just like, ah!
I've been snatched.
Do they look like they're snatching him to collect his flesh or something, or to actually protect him?
They look like they're
yeah,
actually
maybe
just
they've been looking
pushing
at
through the gate. Like the gate's open on the other side. Like there's like a small kind of opening. Like there's just like the door's open.
Oh. If it's open and someone it implies that we're in a spider web, Phalese is going to break free and just sprint ahead.
That's yeah. So they pick you up. You go webs, and then immediately they grab you and they start running with you, and then you start running faster than they do. And
I think that Misty Step out like 5 feet out of their grasp, because that's the exterior range of my Misty Step.
Oh God.
And then just sprint ahead, because I'm not gonna hang out here.
100%.
Nice. Ryan is doing the same, and at the same time watching the spiders to see if any get close, because she is not opposed to taking some shots if they do.
Yeah.
Sour's not the type to drink.
Yeah.
I'll drink to that. Wait, what?
No.
Warlock with alcoholism. Every time they see enemies, I'm like to take some shots.
I'm about to take some shots.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? See,
This is my Eldritch Blast hand.
I'm Eldritch Blasted. It's fine.
Eldritch Blasted is such an awesome
Mm.
expression. We got to get that on a shirt.
So as you're rushing through, Zachariah and the guards rushing with you. Essentially, you're just a large contingent rushing through this gate as these spiders are to descend as you're now obviously ripping apart their web as you're running through. Everyone go ahead and roll me, let's say a dex saving throw, just to make sure you don't trip as you're sprinting through, just totally not looking.
The 16 for me.
Nice.
What was the disadvantage since I don't have a lot of vision?
I'm gonna say
carrying
no.
him.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
gonna say no. Yeah, I think once you get in there, it's pretty flat. If it was like craggy or anything, I'd probably say yeah, but no.
18 here.
18. Okay.
15 here.
15. Okay. So you're sprinting through, and you kind of stumble for half a second, but then catch yourself real quick on the wall, and you kind of push off, and continue to sprint forward to the open door. And as you're going, you just hear, the clanking of armor on the stepstones. Voices behind you. It's kind of hard to tell what they're saying or what they're screaming. All of a sudden, as you reach the door, Phales, you actually touch the door and start to push it open even more. Hand first, and then immediately throw your shoulder into it. You hear the, and then you hear what is it? And it's just one of the voices behind you just disappears. And it's one of the guards that was right next to you, just into the web. As you kind of are rushing for this door, and soon you knock this door open, and you're pushed. There's like not even a chance to see which one it was, because then everyone is following you through this door. You are being pushed actively through this open gate,
Good.
and everyone kind of piles on top of each other on the other side. But the other side is just the outer city. It actually looks exactly the same as the outer city that you walk through to get to the inner kind of section of Drakkenheim.
Can this door be closed?
It definitely can be closed. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So you can just once you do the mental math of like I think there's a calculation you do. You're like, Zachariah, 6 guards, 2 of my team, great, and you kind of like do the sacrificial math, right? You're like, is this good enough to close the door or not, or should we abandon for the last guy? And I think you make the call to just whatever his fate, it's no longer in your hands.
I don't know if Bailey's actually does the math. I think as soon as he gets to his feet from everybody rushing out and knocking him down, I think he just slams the door shut, then maybe looks around. It's just like, there's probably someone out here I'm not seeing.
And as you kind of close the door, you hear multiple like up against it, and the kind of hiss of large spiders on the other side. But this side is actually, there's some web kind of poking out like anchor points around it, but it's mostly just a kept large wooden door, obviously like a double door.
Did anyone spot how many of those creatures there were? Maybe we could
I think I saw 6 or 7, and I'm not in a huge hurry to come back here, but if we do, wouldn't mind reducing their population.
Yeah, too many.
Zacharias, I have a wonderful new plan.
Yes.
What? Now, I know we were going to, take this, this for the glory of the Silver Order. But what if instead of that, we leave you at Academy Gate, where you can get some safe passage home?
And I think he looks around at his retinue was 11 when he left Camp Dawn. It is now 6. And so he's kind of, he does the math, and I think he goes, as much as my ego wants to say no. I think the tactician and I'm going to get in trouble from up the chain says that I need to do this and get safe passage out of Drakkenheim. And just kind of turns to you and goes, I think that's a good idea.
You and your men acquitted yourselves admirably. I will be sure to let all know. Just how well you manage this awful situation. Thank you for your assistance.
Yeah, the Silver Order. They'll want to know about this development, so that we don't lose strike teams to this ever again.
Yes, you acquired some valuable intelligence.
Well, at least that's something that we did.
Yeah. And just in case Phales's lauded commendations fall on deaf ears.
Deaf ears. He goes, what?
I'm sure the rest of us backing the courage to save the rest of your men will bolster the truth of this situation. There was no honor lost.
It was good to work with you, and I would not hesitate to do it again.
And he kind of looks over all three of you and doesn't really have a response, right? Is kind of digesting that he's not going to get Zachariah Gate, that he's lost 5 men in the vain attempt to get Zachariah Gate, and kind of just goes, yeah, very well. It kind of gives you like a curt bow and takes his men. He knows where to go, right? He knows where he is. I mean, he's a veteran of Drakkenheim. Kind of bounces very well. Thank you for your assistance. And starts to kind of walk off towards the other gate, which you have been to, and the hooded lanterns kind of run that gate. Starts making his way that way with his group of exhausted, tired men.
Well, that went well.
It did.
On to Oscar Jorans.
We're off to see the wizard. All right.
Indeed. Hey, yes, Ghost, I think it'll go well when he gets back and shares that we all work together. I think it'll be a good notch with the Silver Order.
Speaking of ghosts, do you think it's possible to preserve a ghost's skin?
You want revenge on the ghost that took your skin?
Well, yes, of course.
Why are you thinking about that now?
No, I think about a lot of things.
My brain doesn't just stop.
I'm still catching my breath from the mind spiders.
That's over. That's done with.
They're still scratching at that door.
You just see these 2 fangs just.
I'm gonna shoot the door if we don't get out.
Okay, well.
You know what? The next ghost that we come across, not our ghost, hand on ghost shoulder.
I mean, I'm just thinking about the practical challenges of skinning a ghost.
As we're walking, I'd be interested in that too, because if you could skin them, that would mean that there was something tangible, and they would perhaps have some flesh.
Yes,
we'll have to look at this.
You're not eating a ghost. You're not skinning a ghost. I'm going to make sure all of my raccoon is still here, and I'm going to look around to see where Melancholia is, the cat, just to make sure we haven't lost the cat.
Yes. Melancholia, actually, hilariously, was probably the first one through the door. Just absolute sprinting. Because Melancholia can see, has eyes, can see. And so it just kind of is trotting behind Aphales, kind of taking a minute off his shoulder, just kind of enjoying life, Air's a little bit cleaner in the outer city, so.
Nice. No, you know what? Aphales, that's a good thought. Let's, I hope we have the opportunity to find out.
Yes, we just need to find a way to non-lethally incapacitate a ghost. Non-lethally, that's a funny term as a ghost. But if we can find a way to non-lethally incapacitate a ghost, I'm sure I could find a way to force it to achieve a more corporeal form. that we could divest of its skin.
Incorporeal taxidermy is what's happening.
There's a play on words there. I
It's
will
an untouched market.
Hey.
So yes, we'll look for our next ghost. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I wouldn't want to go right after my nemesis.
Who?
I'm sorry. This is all very. I'm just talking out loud. Let's continue on. We have an appointment to keep.
Off to Oscar. And now we remember that they were having problems. The Hooded Lanterns were having problems with the quality.
Yes,
Yeah.
there was
And the delivery of some of the potions. And we still have, and Ryan's going to take a look in her bag. We still have the Eldritch Lilies that may be of some use.
Oscar Yorn, very dear friend, please don't embarrass me in front of him. We've never spoken, but we've corresponded briefly, and it's essential that we kind of get off on a good foot. He was a very, very influential researcher before his funding was removed for various bureaucratic reasons.
Hey,
Fair enough.
how do you know all this?
Oh, he was a mage with the Amethyst Academy.
Oh no.
I went to a lecture. That he,
There's two of you?
there's quite a lot more than two of me.
Well, so from the sounds of it, we'll, and I'm looking at Ghost, thinking, is this a good idea? So we'll let you, it seems to make sense then with your affiliation with him. We'll
Hold
let
on.
you take the lead going through this.
Ryan, is he even telling us the truth? Does this guy know about you and like you? Does he know about you and doesn't like you? Or does he not even know about you at all?
We're professional associates.
What does that even mean? Hold on. He's teaching me politics. Don't encourage him.
Look, we let him lead. We let him go first and we see what happens.
He's literally blind.
What that means is I hold him in a great deal of esteem, and it would behoove us to avoid killing him if we can.
Right. No one said anything about killing him, right?
Oh no, I'm sorry. The Amethyst Academy would not be adverse to us killing him.
Well, what are the parameters of success here? Did someone hire us to kill him?
No. If we see him at all, and we meet and we have a lovely time, that's a great success, right? If we acquire his research or his corpse, then the Amethyst Academy will be quite pleased. That's a success as well. Really, it's nothing but wins in the view screen once we get there. Any way it goes is good.
I want to go one day without killing. I think that's
okay.
I'm going to put it on my calendar.
That would be great.
I want it to be
we're all on the same page. Just to
like killing a person, really,
yes.
or something that was a person.
No, that'd be
Spiders,
terrible.
harpies. I'm not even sure, honestly. They seemed like they had intelligence, but someone who
harpies are definitely intelligent. They're just awful.
I just want to get in the habit of looking at wizards or other folk trying to make it in Drakkenheim as people who are better to me dead.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a good habit to cultivate.
It's getting real hard.
Yeah, no, we're absolutely not going to resort to violence here, right? But on the off chance that we do, Felix is going to open up his bag.
Just a gun.
He's like, I got two of these.
The whole time.
If you find yourself in close quarters with a wizard, it's almost always prudent to attempt to blind them. If you can't directly gouge their eyes out.
Done.
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah.
Check.
But
This, okay, no,
You're
this,
killing
this,
it.
this is good. This is good.
Bailey's is going to
Blind him.
I see you preemptively blinded yourself, so they can't use this strategy on you.
Yes, this is an advanced technique.
500 IQ.
Of battle magic, but yes,
Chestnut checkers for you.
this is part of the kit that they they sell at the Amethyst Academy for having a sort of concealed weapon on you that's appropriate to carry to classroom. So for Ghost, he's gonna reach into his bag and pull out a bottle of Scribe's ink, and for Ryan a bag of fine sand from my wizard's kit. Yes. So should the need arise, cast either of these into dear Oscar Yord's eyes, and hopefully that will debilitate him enough that we can kill him more easily. Though, of course, we're not here to kill him. I would love if we didn't kill him. That would be dreadfully embarrassing.
All right. Our goal is to get out of here with information on his experimentation.
Our goal is to help him with whatever difficulties he's been having with his quality control issues, right? Now, we have a secondary goal where if we can recover the books that he borrowed from the Amethyst Academy and his research, those would be held very highly by the Amethyst Academy.
What are they giving us for that?
Peanuts. Yes, not very much at all. Just their respect, which truly at this level not worth very much.
Yeah. Well,
so, killing him is like a nice to do if we happen to already be fighting him. Let's not do it. It's not worth it for the reward alone.
Right.
All right. Well, while you're talking to him, I'll certainly be taking a look around, and I don't know what the research is going to look like, but if we see something, see what we can do.
Yes, we should have a sign when we see something that the others should pay notice of. I'm going to exclaim that I really like the interior design.
Yes, he always was a tasteful fellow.
Perfect. So when I say that, that means I've seen something. What's your code phrase that you guys have? Well, not you, Phalese, but someone else has seen something.
Simply, I'll just cough. Say the.
See, I was worried.
The haze is getting to me. The haze is getting to me.
What kind of?
I don't want this guy who makes potions in a perhaps quasi-experimentally medicinal sense to think he has a new subject.
Yes.
I didn't think about that.
What sort of thing are you talking about drawing attention to?
Things that.
How should we respond when you
do your best to look around or to have your head on a swivel? Okay. You know, to kind of pick out something in the room that perhaps is out of place.
Okay. Now, with the caveat, we're absolutely not here to kill him. What should the "let's murder him" code be?
I will start asking you about your research you wanted to show him.
Oh, that's excellent. I love that.
And I'll blast him.
I literally shoot my human gun.
Yeah, absolute reminder. Okay. Please don't. It's the goodwill it will earn us with the Amethyst Academy is not worth is not worth the amount of goodwill we would get. You know.
I'm in agreement with that. I've tempered my stance a bit from pretty much just killing everything that we see in Drakkenheim. I've seen that not not everything.
Monsters. These are going to be
Yep.
people of learning and perhaps their creations. He
Right.
was a fantastic innovator in certain domains of transmutation and necromancy, conjuration as well. A really fascinating fellow.
If we kill a mind, we permanently stop someone to contribute in some way to the recovery and healing and repair and of Drakkenheim.
Keeping in mind that this is someone with a proven track record, developed the Aquaspergo that we're hoping to acquire either in doses or in recipe for all of Drakkenheim.
Yes,
Absolutely. Unless we walk into a situation and they start attacking us, or he starts attacking us, I think we'll be okay. I'm not anticipating doing anything. Starting. I'm not anticipating starting anything.
He
Yeah.
may anticipate that I am here to kill him, given the Amethyst Academy robes. But fortunately, we have such good rapport. Presumably he read the letter I sent him, and he should recognize me. We have met, so not like socially, but we passed each other.
The more.
Oh yes, I hope that will kind of overcome any trepidation he may experience.
The more that you explain the situation and you talk about him and your relationship, the more curious I am to see how this is going to go.
Yes, I'm quite curious as well.
Let's see what he's. Let's
do this.
Yeah, let's see what's happening.
Great.
Outstanding. So I think we're going to make our way as stealthily as we can through this outer portion of Drakkenheim to Oscar Yoren's mansion.
Absolutely. So you, as you leave the gate, there's a path that kind of leads up into. It stops becoming cobblestones and paved and the whole nine. A little bit up into this forest, and it seems like the forest has been taking advantage of the little amount of foot traffic that it's gotten. It's kind of starting to get overgrown. But you see a large manor on the hill. Rayan, you recognize this place. You kind of grew up in this area. This is Reed Manor. It was a very nice mansion whenever you were growing up in this area. Now looks a little run down, broken to ruin. But it is also, from what you've learned from the Hooded Lanterns, the new home of Oscar Yoren and his experimental potion making.
Would we know if Reed Manor has any connection to a High Flamekeeper Ophelia Reed?
It does not. No.
Okay.
Yeah. Ophelia Reed is connected to Drakkenheim, but not in the sense.
Not from here.
Well, she is from here, but not in the sense of wasn't really noble in the way that you would get like a house named. Like your family, her family doesn't have like a manor, as much as it fits her name. So, great. So you start moving up this pathway. We're gonna take a quick break. And we'll be back, and we will get up to the manor really quick. So, 1 quick second. 2, 1.
And we're back. Not that you guys missed anything. So let's get back to it.
All right. So before break, the three of you separated from your compatriots, your retinue, and left them to. Yes. To head to the other gate that the Hooded Lanterns runs. And you have continued up the kind of dirt path up to Reed Manor, which is the home of Oscar Yoren. You have been given anti-wizard devices from Thales in order to, should it come down to it, duke it out in a battle of spells with Oscar Yoren. The famed Oscar Yoren himself. As you approach Reed Manor, you notice that it is, quite frankly, it's a beautiful house. Like, had it not fallen into disrepair, it would be a quite beautiful place. But you approach along the main road, and there is a gate that leads into kind of almost a pseudo courtyard that has like a little fountain in it. Past that is the doorway of this kind of dilapidated manor. And you see in the front yard, kind of moving at specific intervals, are these two ogres that seem to be moving kind of slowly through either the front yard or the backyard, kind of depending, and they just seem to be kind of on patrol, so that there's no section of the yard that is left unguarded as you approach.
We should maybe I don't know, approach the perimeter and wait to be greeted. I think. What are your thoughts?
If we're to be perceived as an ally, we should make a point to not do anything sneaky.
Right, and if it turns out that there's a general hostility, we can retreat and probably sneak back through. Undead civilians usually don't have a lot of capacity for memory or like relaying anything they've seen.
Raya puts her hand down a little bit again. Okay, right. We're not being aggressive coming in here. Okay?
You gotta not look at everyone like a meal. Stop thinking with your stomach.
It's not about that.
These are friends. We don't need their skin.
As
Why did you say it like that?
That was a normal thing to say.
No, it wasn't.
As we watch them, as they're going about, does it appear, is there an opportunity for us to go through when neither one of them are there, or are they crossing in such a way that there isn't that opportunity?
I mean, you could definitely try with like sneaking. You could, try and sneak up to the door.
If there's two of them going opposite, then we could approach right behind one of them and try to, assuming they don't turn around very often.
Yeah, as you've been watching them, it seems like there's like a well-trod path in the grass, in the dead grass, kind of circling. Pretty safe assumption that they're not looking behind them very often. But you never know. If you're making loud noises behind them, maybe. So
let's just walk up and just get this over with.
Coming in to talk to Oscar about potions.
Yes.
Okay.
Sweet. All right, if you're gonna sneak up, go ahead and roll some stealth.
Oh, I think we were.
You decided not to?
Keeping stealth
Opposite, yeah.
Yeah,
if our initial foray fails.
Just
Gotcha.
coming. Yep, just coming in for potions. Everything's fine. Feliz, you take the lead, and we are right behind you.
All right.
Holding my emotional support inkwell.
Just clutching it to your chest. Okay, great. So yeah, you approach the door from the pathway, and before you get to the stairs, the wooden stairs, one of the ogres spots you, and you see kind of quickly boom, 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 kind of rushes up to you. And stops right in front of you, very much like a Bethesda NPC, just very like doom, 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 doom.
That is
Hey,
such
you
a
there.
good description.
It goes, what you want, and then just kind of stands like looming over you.
This is so
The
this is
ogre?
so exciting. It speaks. Yes. Hello. I have so many questions, but first off, we're here to meet with Oscar Yoren about his potions. If that's quite all right.
Follow this, and he like interrupts you when you hears the words potions. Follow this way, and you can keep talking, but he's just walking towards the front.
As we go, Feliz is just bombarding him with questions about like. So what's your like? Do you have like a rich inner life? What kind of things do you think about? Do you dream?
I have one dream. No.
And as they're talking and we're walking up, like, Ghost, have you seen an ogre before?
I've never seen an ogre. I've never seen an ogre undead, and I've never seen one talk.
Great.
Yes,
So
it's
we're on the
fascinating
same
work here.
page. All
Yeah,
right.
these ogre corpses must have been absolutely just incredibly difficult to get brought in here. It's a it's a real flex.
Real flex.
Oh, I wonder how he counteracted the sort of natural the natural properties here of Drakkenheim attempting to assert control over undead. I wonder if that's an issue. I haven't tried raising any undead here. I could, of course, but there's simply been no reason to.
And he walks up to the door and he goes, doom, 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 and then kind of steps to the side. While you're having this conversation, kind of just stands there and just, not saying anything, just like heavy breathing and just kind of standing there. It takes a couple seconds, but the door eventually opens, and two very shabby is a good word for it. Robes, kind of very dark, like black, but very tattered, worn, dirty. With either
It's like the caretaker from the Pit of Despair and
not quite that
Princess
shabby.
Bride.
That's a shabby guy. Yeah, no, definitely not like that. At least has the guise of being put together.
There's probably not like a robes shop out here.
Yeah, not really. So like if you spill
get a load of these guys, they don't know the mending spell.
Yeah.
Losers.
Well, and that's part of it. Like
mending only takes you so far.
You can clean yourself up with prestidigitation. Do they not? They can raise dead. Do they not?
Right, we're all criticizing them
Right.
while they're standing there.
Yeah, they're like, well, first of all,
like to felt if you cast prestidigitation enough times.
And you see these two walk out, and they kind of have their hands like this, and they slightly bow over them, and they say, welcome. Are you here for some of Master Yorn's potions? Some ailment brews, perhaps?
Oh, we were hoping to meet with him, actually. Don't mind the robes. I'm not here as an assassin.
And they kind of look at each other, and then they're like, okay.
Neither am I.
That's kind of something an assassin would say, I'm going to be honest with you.
I don't know. I would never counsel an assassin say that at all. In fact, I've never known an assassin to utter those words. In fact,
I've never been an assassin. I thought about it once, decided against it. Not going to start today.
really terrible career path.
Go ahead and roll persuasion as you're trying to convince these two.
And to be perfectly honest, the Amethyst Academy was not offering enough money.
You were getting paid?
That is yeah.
For persuasion, that's a 17.
17 is pretty good. It was the last sentence that did it. They're like, I mean, yeah, for sure.
Well, that tracks.
They don't pay teachers nearly enough.
Have a bake sale.
Yeah.
And you see they look at each other and then they look back at you and they go, well, understandably, the going rate for teachers at the Amethyst Academy was incredibly low.
Oh, just abysmal. No, we're primarily here because we've heard there have been some issues with your reagent supply, and I was wondering if we could help.
And they kind of, again, it's like, it's less of an actual glance. It's more of just like they just kind of, boop. And they go, please follow us. And they walk inside the drawing room. And as you kind of look inside, you see a small table, dead flowers in a vase right in the center. Very typical wizard house. And you turn to the right, and it's one of the, it's the only open door. There's a door on your left as you walk into that seems firmly shut. And they turn right into what's like a drawing room, or seems like a gathering area with a long table, hearth, chairs, no papers or anything on this table, just kind of decoration, or at least not place settings, but table decorations. And they walk on the other side of the table as you file in, and they say, well, what can we offer you as you arrive here, and one of them looks at the other and kind of nods, and they walk off towards the other door that was in the room, and they open it and leave and say, we will discuss with Master Yorn to see if there is something that can be done. But for now, I have many potions and brews to offer. Should you need them?
You know, I would love some tea if you have any.
We can get you some tea. Yes. When my associate comes back, we can have that prepared for you.
Oh, they have the gossip?
Oh yeah. They connect with everybody. They got hot tea. And so these kind of apprentices will sell potions at 25% discount.
What's wrong with them, man?
Let me tell you what. If I had more than what? It's not enough. 9 silver, 5 copper. If I had more than that, this would be a good time to load up.
As a group, we have some
potions.
I thought you didn't want to do that.
No, that's a joke. I wouldn't do that.
I've got some gold. If it seems like the potions here would benefit us, or if it feels like that would earn us some goodwill, we've got a little bit of bank. So, yeah, Fairies, if there's something that looks valuable, or again looks like it could maybe earn you some goodwill, we've got some money. We have some gold.
What can I get for this? I hold up my old breastplate. Not old as in like janky, but old as in I'm not using it anymore. Solid. Saved my life many times.
He looks at you and says, wait, we're not in the buying of armor business. I'm sure there's someone in Emberwood who would purchase that as a fine price, but we're not interested in any such armaments.
God, I hope I make it back.
As do I.
Oh, well, and you said they've got any kind of specialty potions?
Yes, they uncommon and rare potions.
Ooh.
They also mechanically can sell the special potions, but you wouldn't know that quite yet.
Okay.
So,
Well, we know they sell the Aqua Spurgo, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, there's technically 2 potions: Aqua Delirium and Aqua Spurgo.
What's Aqua Delirium?
They sell.
We've got one of those. We need money. We need money. We'll come back when we got money.
We have money. How much does do we know what the standard price is for the Aqua Delirium or the Aqua Expurgo?
They will have to make them.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever encountered them for sale out in the world.
Yeah,
So we
Right.
might
Okay.
Yeah.
point.
But it's good to know.
Yes.
Okay. When they come back, we'll ask.
Yeah, so like if you do like a rare potion price, like it's just a healing potion price, but then you also need the materials, which would probably be like the lilies. I'm trying to find it right now. Let me see. Like
Thinking about potions, I've got a couple of healing potions, and I've got, as I'm going through, I've got 1 Aqua Delirium. Do you guys have healing potions?
Yes, you recently helped stock me up on healing potions.
Okay. So it would require the same item, so the lilies for both of them, and it's 1 lily per potion.
Oh.
You don't know what the Aqua Delirium is yet, but the Aqua Expurgo is the one used
Right.
to protect you against
I believe we have some Aqua Delirium that we got.
Oh, do you? Okay.
I'm definitely keen to get more though. That's I've been saving that for a rainy day, but I know it's gonna be
I have a
impactful.
question. Does the Aqua Delirium work for either of you?
It does for me.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
it restores like a set number of spell levels, and you can have packed slots, right?
I don't have pack slots. I have spell
Oh,
levels.
Okay.
I do, and I've just got regained
Oh, so
spell
you've got the
slots.
lower level spell slots too?
Oh. Oh. I am picking up what you're laying down.
Yeah, like
I don't know.
you know, if you rolled a 2 or something, would it just do nothing?
Oh, yeah. I see. I understand.
All right, well, we'll figure it out. Don't know.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, right now. Well, what is it? What is the formula? It's 1d6 worth of spell slots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
can't
right.
Go,
Okay.
Can't go higher than 5th level.
Never mind.
I think we got a dose from. Did you get a dose from River? Is that where we got it from?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or-
Oh,
would-
that might have
would
been
track.
it. Yeah.
Card?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would track. That would
That's what I
track.
think.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
that?
1d6 spell slots, combined level equal to. So, that'd be okay with me. It's equal to or less than.
Right.
Okay,
So
so
you'd have like a 2 in 3 chance of getting a spell slot out of drinking it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that'll go down as you level up.
Yeah. So I got to use it soon.
okay.
Right. Yeah. You said it's the rare potion cost for the specialty ones.
Yep.
Plus the lilies.
Yep. But again, 25% discount.
Yes.
These ones, however, do not have, because they're making them in batches of 1 for you. They don't have the downside.
No discount.
Well, no, they do have the discount,
Oh.
but they don't have the problem that the Hooded Lanterns do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're at the point of the Hooded Lanterns have bought all of their bad ones, right? So they bought all the factory seconds already, and they're out of those.
Yeah, well, it's essentially like you buy in bulk or you buy individually, and individually, if you're making one potion, is going to be considerably better than buying in bulk. So that's kind of the vibe.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Okay, maybe
yeah,
get some Spurgo.
And I'm going to just sort of be asking these attendants if they are waiting around while Oscar is contacted and decides whether he's going to meet with us. Just bombarding them with questions of just like, so how did you come to study under the great Oscar Jorn?
And so there's only one in the room with you because the other one left, and is answering all the questions. Well, mine and his beliefs align, and I feel like I could learn a great deal from Master Joran and his teaching and his experiments, and attempt to set right Drakkenheim.
Yes, absolutely. Were you studying under him during his time at the Amethyst Academy, or did you seek him out here?
Go ahead and roll insight.
Okay. That's a 13.
They say, I was early in the Amethyst Academy and decided it wasn't for me. It didn't.
Oh,
it
yes,
didn't
it's
fit.
a terrible bit of business, that.
Total lie. And I think
it was
on a 13, you realize that this is a hedge maze, or not a hedge maze, a hedge wizard. Hedge maze, hedge wizard. Total self-taught. Like there's kind of a vibe about hedge wizards where, like, they don't do things in a classically trained way. And sometimes that works, and sometimes
conscious about that right now, and yeah.
Yeah.
Have you? So you've been able to assist him in his research out here. Have you gotten to work on any cool projects?
Yes, the
academic to academic.
And you see, there's kind of this like excitement that boils up. It's like, oh, what do you mean academic to academic? This is exciting. Kind of goes, oh yes, the zombies that you saw on the way in, the ogre zombies, I helped with those.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it was and then the door slams open, and they're very excited. And they immediately just kind of go back into position. And Oscar Jorn
I'm gonna mimic that.
walks in, And you see he has 3 other kind of apprentices. They're all kind of walking, doing this gesture as they kind of like, as silently as they can, kind of float or walks, slightly into the room.
Bailey's is gonna just whip around like tighten his skin, empty eye sockets, and just grin insanely wide. Oscar!
And he walks, and you see you turn. He kind of stumbles one of his steps, and he's like, "No, focus, straight." And he walks, and he's a short guy, wide, big, stocky man, but about mid-50s. You can see he's given up the robe entirely. He's got his breeches on. He's got a big overcoat on. Absolutely filthy. He's got really long black hair and kind of a patchy, kind of thick, wiry beard. So very unkempt. And he walks up and he slams both of his hands on the table. And he goes, "Who are you and what do you want at my manor?"
Oh, yes, of course, you wouldn't recognize me, would you? I've changed somewhat in my travels through Drakkenheim. Is I Thales the Curious? We were in the same room a couple of times. I wrote you a letter at one point. I assume with the difficulties of academic life, I absolutely understand why you didn't have time to reply. But yes, we've come here to reach out on behalf of the Hooded Lanterns, who suggested that you might be having some difficulties acquiring quality reagents. And the work that you do is so important for Drakkenheim. We would love to assist in any difficulties you may be having. And I just, on a personal level, I just had such a high opinion of you during our time at the Amethyst Academy together. I was excited to come out and talk shop and see what kind of fascinating research you've been up to.
And he kind of waits for you to finish, and you can tell that halfway through, like your spiel, his face kind of glazes over. He's like, yeah, okay, interesting, okay, yeah. And then you talk about talking shop and all this stuff. And he goes, kind of lights up and just goes, kind of sets himself back up, kind of pulls his overcoat a little bit.
I saw the work you've done on these like ogre zombies with getting full like natural language processing out of them on the level of like ghouls. It like truly amazing. I would love to know how it's done.
Yes, well, it's been a lot of hard work working here in Drakkenheim post fall, and luckily I have these wonderful apprentices. Anyone can roll insight on anything that he is saying.
Yeah, I'm curious how he feels about his apprentices. That's a 14 on insight.
14. He's not really trying to hide it at all. He's not lying really about how he feels about them, but but only because they seem unimportant enough to him that he doesn't feel like he needs to lie. Like, it seems like Oscar Yoren is in it for Oscar Yoren. He's not in it for his apprentices at all. It's not a collaborative effort. It's you're helping me.
Yeah, it's the Oscar show.
100%, absolutely. And he goes, well, we've done a lot of great work here in Drakkenheim. And
indispensable work.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And, I will say that indispensable only due to myself. So if you are assassins, like you claimed not to be, I will tell you that you will not find anything of use physically in this space.
Of course not. No. To be clear, the Amethyst Academy was offering a paltry 250 gold pieces. Truly, you'd have to be a madman to accept an assassination mission against a powerful mage for such a low sum.
And you see, when you say the 250 gold like bounty, he just kind of goes, like he's just like offended. It's so low. He's like, how dare?
I assume that bounty was set by somebody who has some sentimental fondness for you.
As as they're talking, as we look around this room, any books, any papers, anything, or this is pretty much just kind of a clear room.
I mean, it looks like there's books and stuff in here, but it's almost like the rest of the manor that you've seen. It looks very in disrepair. In other words, nothing of import would be found in these books. These books are what rich people before the fall of Drakkenheim would display in their gathering room to show that they are very learned and upper crust. Oscar not only doesn't care about them, but doesn't care about them to the level he doesn't want to remove them because it would take too much energy to clear this room that he just is not going to expel. So it looks like all these books are like covered in a layer of dust. You know, there's like, detritus all over the place. You know, very much like you could pick one of these books up and read it, but what benefit it would give you at all, apart from like maybe an interesting read, is pretty close to zero.
Not interested. Okay.
Just 50, like four complete encyclopedias, like 3 bibliographies of one really prolific author.
The DSM from 5 years ago.
Right.
Yeah,
There's not even
those houses of just like, oh no, we've installed too many bookshelves.
And got to fill them and don't.
Not even a cookbook here. So yeah. All right, fair enough. Just looking around as they're speaking. Just trying to get a feel for where anything of significance might be.
Yeah, I mean, it seems the door closed behind them.
Left door. Yeah.
When they came in, so you came in through. If you're visualizing kind of like this, you came in down here, and they entered from up here.
Okay.
So it's kind of a longer room, long table in it, and this whole time Oscar's kind of waxing on and on about the difficulties of dealing in post-fall Drakkenheim and
I can imagine.
issues.
And you achieved all of this with in these conditions. Truly a heroic effort.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, and an enormous amount of help from these very learned students of yours.
Oh yes, of course.
And I say that like trying to see if he like waves that off in front of them and trying to create a little bit of drama if he does. Just trying to see if he's like, yeah, whatever about them.
Yeah, you could tell that he acknowledges it, like he takes it in, he acknowledges it, and he's like, yes, but doesn't like immediately dismiss it. It's not like they didn't do anything. It was like yes, of course, these wonderful apprentices that have come to help me with my research. And then moves on. So like
just like my dad. Got it.
So I have to know. You've been in Drakkenheim for years now, right?
Yes.
What are you working on now?
Go ahead and roll persuasion for that.
Absolutely. Ooh, okay. That's a 15.
Okay.
I mean, just being so close to the source of so many things, you must you must have made so many fascinating observations that the researchers too cowardly to come directly to the source. You must be miles ahead.
Yes, the research that we have done is to withstand the haze and its contamination has been very cutting edge, and we've done a lot of great work.
Clearly, look at you, you're thriving right in the haze.
I mean, of course, thriving is a great word for what we were. However, that's where the three of you might be able to help us. We require more delirium shards, various pieces of monsters around Drakkenheim for reagents and such, as you would imagine. And very specifically, Eldritch lilies are very helpful in the production of aqua spurgo. which at this point you no doubt know about. Should you help in gathering any of these supplies, I would be more than willing to tell you more about my research and the levels that I'm working on. To gather trust, you understand.
You know what? Absolutely. You know, we had suspected that might be the case, just from our own research on the subject. So on the way here, we collected a number of Eldritch Lilies as a gift.
Can I insight him?
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to insight.
Yeah, same.
Is that true, or is he just using us? Oh, that's a 17 and some change. Oh, and 18.
Are you rolling to?
I got 15, yeah.
15. Oh, yeah, he's definitely using you. I mean, he's going to give you some information on the research. It's not going to be critical research. It's not going to be critical information. It's going to be like, Aqua Spurgos made with water. Great, now give me my lilies. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be... it's going to be useful in the sense of, like, it's not nothing. But there's no universe in which he hands over.
Oh, the recipe? No, absolutely not.
No, but anything of significance.
Certainly not the thing that that the Amethyst Academy sent us to get. But no, I'm curious. You know, there was some rumors spreading around that you may be having some quality control issues. Is that due to declining supplies of Eldritch Lilies? I understand they have become somewhat of a rarefied reagent these days.
He takes a big sigh and says, yes, those damned hooded lanterns used up my entire supply. We can make more, of course, but they just demand more and more. Now, it's very helpful, you know, supplying them is very helpful in my research, and they bring me the things I need for me and my apprentices to get by. But quite frankly, them going through all my materials like they're, you know, drinking some level of fizzy pop is offensive to the research that I've been doing here.
I think the answer is you're not charging enough.
This is true. However, that being said, you know, there is some benefit to their dosing. I would definitely roll insight on that.
I'm picking up it's addictive. Holy shit.
Oh,
Wait, he said that?
I kind of figured he's just kind of using it as he's testing something out on them. Oh, okay, that's a 17.
Got a 15.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, he's definitely just testing stuff.
Ooh.
Like, it's not necessarily that Aqua Spurgos dangerous, right? It's not addictive. But it is made from delirium and the haze. Right. It is at its root made from something that has inherently caused the fall of Drakkenheim. And while he may be the expert in the field about it, there's definitely something there that, like, I really like testing on live subjects. And these live subjects are walking to my door and giving me materials to make stuff for them to test on them.
I'm going to just behave as though, like I'm going to completely miss that was meant to be hinted, and I'm just going to take that as though he said it out loud. Do you find you have any difficulty gathering follow-up information after you've tested new formulations out?
And he kind of takes a step back and just kind of shakes his head. He's like, this is why I left the academy.
I want to be coy about this stuff.
Erasmus is like looking over to Rian, like it's like, are we watching two people on the spectrum right now having a conversation in their own ways?
100%.
We have a full-on conversation. Just look at each other. You okay with this? I'm okay with this. Are they both kind of? He's
like,
ours.
Make mental note not to get my potions here anymore.
And so you kind of get the vibe that he is giving these potions, maybe not on purpose as an experiment, but definitely isn't in qualms about sending them not high quality potions for what they're looking for. And he says, you know, they have been reporting back complaints, mostly ungrateful, but
you know, I guess having a way to receive complaints is you know, for certain kinds of side effects that'll get you good data.
Well, we can't necessarily complain about that because we are getting data, which is fantastic.
What about survivor's bias? You're only getting data from those who don't die.
And he kind of looks at you and he kind of stares at you and goes, huh. And you see he kind of like has a pause, and one of his assistants immediately pulls out a notepad and just kind of goes, and then tucks it back away, and he just kind of looks back at the table and goes, well, we also hear typically when people die, but
I like nudge.
You showed the picture of the bombers of like all the bullet holes
that's
when they come back.
the World War II bombers.
Yeah.
I was like, how do I bring bombers into this subject? Yeah. So I was like, nudge Bailey's like, hey, they took my note.
Yeah, it was a good note. Yes. Have your sort of now you've been working on your aqua aspergo. Have your experiments on that front borne any interesting revelations? I've been trying to work out sort of my own formulation based on whatever it is that the followers of the Fallen Fire are doing. It seems. Now, would it be telling if you told me whether I'm on a similar path as you, or is that a bridge too far?
So he listens to kind of like what you were just asking, and you see when you start to say like, oh, I was coming up with different calculations or different alchemical formulas to like kind of replicate, he kind of gets this wry smile, and the more you talk, the smile kind of disappears into a frown. And he goes, well, how about those lilies then as a gift? You said you brought the gift of eldritch lilies, yes?
Oh, quite right. Erasmus, you had those lilies, right?
I do. And I'm gonna just kind of start going through my bag and just kind of idly kind of converse and saying, how many are we gifting? How's our generosity feeling today, Fayles?
Oh well, whatever seems seems just to you, given that Oscar is such an esteemed peer and a good friend.
How many do we have?
4.
4? I'm gonna say, well, I guess I'll give them all 3 then.
Oh, so generous.
One, just in case. 3 of us, 3 lilies, a gift from each.
And you put them on the table, and
well, and I definitely understand how you could have problems getting these. I don't have to tell you, they're not easy to come by.
Yeah, so when you say that, go ahead and roll insight. Whoever would like to.
Hell yeah.
Oops.
Ooh,
10.
That's a 21.
Not
Hell
one.
yeah.
Not one. So Fayles, you see on his face like a recognition. Like, yeah, it is difficult to get those. That's kind of the problem we've been having. Is kind of the vibe. Like when you say like it's difficult to get him, he's like, yeah, that fucking queen. Like he's just like, you kind of see that in his face. That whatever you went through to get the lilies, he not only understands but like intimately gets. Like in the sense of like that's a big core problem that he's been trying to deal with.
I see. I see you are familiar with the Lily's warden.
Yes, and she is the cause of a lot of the struggles that we've been having in furthering our research.
Truly, just an absolute nightmare.
Yes, she was much better before the fall, I have to say.
I did get that impression. Yeah.
I have to say. I mean, quite frankly, I'm as much as a royal fan as the next one, but Big fan before the fall.
On that subject, you've done a remarkable job, like resisting the general corruption here. Is that just liberal use of the Aqua Aspergo, or do you have some sort of more sophisticated means of purging yourself?
He says, well, my experiments have gone very well. And you can see like his hands, his skin. It's gone better than you would expect, spending 15 years in the haze. But
Yeah,
like, it doesn't
you would
look
expect
good.
super dead.
Yeah, 100%. He's still alive. He still has all of his teeth, at least the ones that are in his mouth. And, isn't sprouting like crystals of delirium on his skin. But is not a healthy looking man.
Yes, no, I like personally, I've come upon a number of fascinating developments. Perhaps we could trade secrets. I for one have become more or less immune to the effects of corruption.
And he kind of stares at you like this weird look of like.
I'm going to reach into my bag and like pull out a crystal of delirium and like press it to my forehead.
Oh, God.
And I think that I'm going to gain a point of corruption from that.
You are absolutely going to get a point of corruption from that.
But that's awesome that you're like, see, like the biggest bluff of all time.
Yeah.
I think that's going to bump me up to 4 as well, which means that the octarine light will ignite in my empty eye sockets.
So you see, you press, and then there's other stuff that's going to happen, but you press the crystal to your head, and all of a sudden, all of Phaley's eyes, which are numerous, so there's 7 of them, right? Essentially, they all just kind of ignite with this like orange citrine color, and Oz kind of takes a step back and then kind of leans in and goes, fascinating, absolutely fascinating. And he kind of pulls gloves off of his belt and puts a glove on and kind of holds his hand out to grab the delirium shard. Let's roll your contamination before we forget.
Oh yes, absolutely. So I did get a point of mutation, or I did get a mutation. So
Okay.
we're gonna roll on that.
Yeah, go and roll your d20.
It's a d20.
Oh God.
Okay, that's a 1.
Okay, just roll again.
Okay. That's a 20.
Sick. Man, Phaley's out here just killing it.
He's just raw dogging it, man. I swear.
Oh man, oh that's so good. Jesus.
Call this episode "Raw Dogging."
Josh is like,
Oh,
Jesus
God.
Christ.
So you press it to your head. All of a sudden, your eyesight, you gain 20 feet of eyesight in blind sight. Your eyes ignite. And
Not just the ones on my face.
No, the ones in the back of your hands, some of them your arms.
Shoulders.
Yeah. So you feel this rush of like arcane power through your veins. It goes all through your body. You feel immensely powerful. And I'm not gonna say for necessarily like the first time in Phaley's life, but like it's very rare that Phaley's feels like a really powerful wizard. This is one of those moments. It's called Arcane Blood. You gain an additional spell slot at the highest level you can cast.
Oh shit.
Shut up.
You double it because you're at 4+.
Oh my!
So
wait,
wait,
I get 2?
You get 2.
I'm gonna say, as all this is happening, his like veins are glowing. I'm gonna go like, the interior design of this place is amazing.
When Thales is done dragonboarding, delirium away. I'm being tongue-in-cheek, of course. I am evidently susceptible to corruption. However, I've achieved perfect control of it.
And you see, he still has his hand, like gloved hand, in front of you, like asking for the delirium shard. Like, holy. Yes, yes, please.
Yes, it's fascinating, isn't it? And I'm going to hand him the Rat Prince's tooth that I used for
Okay.
this stunt.
So he takes it. You know, you drop it in his hand.
We pulled this one out of a rat.
Fascinating. Kind of holds it up to the light, and he goes on this kind of fascinating thing, and you can tell like when he starts that this is like, what's up?
Is he holding it barehanded?
No. He put a glove on.
Oh right, he's gloved up. Okay.
Yeah.
Got his PPE on.
Yeah, and it's, which is strange, I think, because for the master of avoiding corruption or dealing with corruption, the fact that he's wearing a glove is a pretty fascinating thing.
Yeah, just means it's not free.
Yeah, he's definitely not flexing that he's immune. Not like you, who just absolutely raw dog that delirium crystal on your forehead.
Who ascended in front of everyone in power.
I think there were like swirls of magic and like the books flying off the walls for a moment.
Yeah. You can see, you knew, certainly you know, but you can see why we as a group are very interested in learning what we can about how to better survive here in Drakkenheim. We certainly see firsthand the effects of it, so we're very interested in what you're doing to be able to better survive Drakkenheim and perhaps better help you with some of procuring some of what you need.
And he's still kind of holding up the gem, and he hears you, but he starts to kind of like wax on about these crystals. He says, just as one cannot make a mast from 1,000 saplings, 1,000 small shards of delirium are nothing compared to a single large geode. The bigger crystals contain essentially more arcane power.
Yes, of course.
Fracturing the rock is a wasteful endeavor, as it causes valuable samples to be lost, and the great magical potential is shattered. Delirium crystals and geodes are ideally suited for great spells and ambitious magical constructions. However, it has been difficult to find these specimens out here in the outer city. Nevertheless,
unfortunately, we live in the inner city.
Interesting.
I just am like, oh my god.
Put a hand on Ghost's shoulder.
Is this the original?
Okay.
Is this the original floor? It's aged well.
And he says, "Well, this one, as powerful as it has left you, really is only good for alchemical reagents and arcane inks."
Oh, quite right. I use this one for most things. I'm gonna pull out the 500 gold shard.
And he just goes, "That's a much better one."
Are you drunk? Oh my god.
Thales is on one at this moment. Like he, his head is rushing with eldritch power.
I swear to God, I'm gonna have to kill everyone in this room now that they know where we live.
Well, we weren't specific.
Inner city.
We're fine. Okay.
With an intelligence of 19, I'm getting the vibes of like who's figuring what out. I'm like looking at everyone like who's caring about certain things Thales is saying, and or are they more caring about the potential for him to destroy everyone in this room right now?
And that one I'm just gonna kind of like pull out for a second and then like secrete back into the bag.
All right. So from the Hooded Lantern standpoint, for you to be able to continue to see what the effects of your potions are on them, it's about the Eldritch Lilies.
Indeed. Yes, the route of our supplies from Queen's Park has been difficult as of late. And he kind of hands you back the little piece of delirium.
Thank you. Yes, truly a sticky situation out there. Terrifying woman.
Indeed.
Terrifying place.
But now, do you know if I assume the Eldritch Lilies require require at least something of the deep haze to be cultivated. Have you tried manufacturing some deep haze out here?
That, it seems, is not as easily done as said. The deep haze seems to hang in certain areas of the city, and not in others. Haven't necessarily tried to create one here, as that might exacerbate the problem a little bit. We'd probably be put on our back heels in terms of research. But we attempt to make forays into the deep haze in Queen's Park, and it seems to work relatively well. But you are not incorrect. The Elder Cities require deep haze, the heaviest of hazes, to grow properly.
I would certainly not be satisfied. Your research is so important. And it is a shame that you are so choked by the materials available to you.
Indeed.
Yes. Well, if we should learn of or precipitate any developments on that front, I would love to tell you about that. Right. Yes, the Eldritch Lilies. We gave you the Eldritch Lilies. You were going to tell us about some of your current research into refining your Aqua Spurgo.
So he, that his kind of waxing on about the crystals seemed to kind of be the payment. Like he was he gave you a piece of the delirium, which, in retrospect, is the most obvious thing about it. The bigger the crystal, the more powerful the arcane workings.
Right. I assume he means on kind of like an exponential scale. It's just not like 10 grams is 10 times as powerful as 1 grams.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was kind of the vibe that he gave there. And then he gave you a little bit of an extra tidbit as well. Something I don't think that he expected to give. Which was that Eldritch Lilies are not made, they're grown, and they seem to need the deep haze in order to cultivate them. Right?
Yeah, I assumed that since he wasn't already cultivating them, and you know, if they grow there and not here, that's the most obvious thing.
Right, but what that means with the Eldritch Lilies is that they could be potentially cultivated in any place the deep haze is.
Yes.
Not just Queen's Park. So
yeah, that seems. I've lost respect for him that he hasn't tried yet.
Yeah, he's a little locked in.
Oh, deep haze would interfere with your research. Figure it out, man.
Get it together.
If you
You don't like breathing the spicy purple air, like
too bad.
You know,
if you
that's an obstacle.
If you don't mind my asking, certainly one of the biggest barriers to operating in the city are the monsters that have been influenced by the delirium. In all your extensive and very significant research, have you found anything to somehow eliminate or reduce the effect of the delirium on creatures, to reduce we've certainly seen many creatures who seem to have their minds about them, but others are just mindless monsters who want to do nothing but kill. Have you had any success with any research that might affect that, reduce that, to make the city safer for us to come and, say, get Eldritch Lilies?
Yes. Do you think there's a unified principle by which the creatures of Drakkenheim resist the haze, resist corruption, and the way in which the followers of the Fallen Fire have done so, or do you think these are all approaching the problem from different angles?
I think he pauses for a second,
Surely these can't all be secrets, man.
And he he takes in what Feli says, but he's more locked in on what Ryan has said, and kind of takes a beat and looks at you and says, "Who did you lose?"
My family, my parents, my brother.
That explains that. Well, to answer your unspoken question, there is no way to cure delirium haze once it creates a monster, and that monster lives as itself for so long. The brain can no longer function after a certain period of time. There is a window, hours, where an individual can be saved. After that point, the mind is too far addled with delirium.
I think that knowledge is worth Eldritch Lilies right there. How can we learn this? Can it be taught?
Not from the Amethyst Academy anymore.
Have you?
Yes, the Amethyst Academy, true, like resurrections in general were never something that they were all that particularly interested in, if only because it requires far too much trust, and you need to, like, contingencies that involve other people. It's a very unreliable method of immortality. Much better means.
Well, I know the secret of it. It's not an unknown art. The problem is not in the magic itself, to bring someone back or to cure them of their contamination after the monstrosity stage has set in. It's the timing. That is the most difficult, as most of the time when it happens, people tend to be deep within the walls of Drakkenheim, and it takes a considerable amount of time to get out, and by the time that happens, they are no longer aware.
Oh, do those magics only work outside of Drakkenheim, or is the danger that you haven't brought the means to produce them with you?
It takes time to cast the correct spell.
Oh, I see. Yes, so time to cast the spells and a ticking clock to begin with. I see.
Exactly, and align that with Drakkenheim not being a safe place as it is.
Certainly not one to sit in one place for a long time and cast spells.
Things tend to get a little bit dicey whenever you spend a lot of time sitting in one place in this city. If you would let me continue with my experiments, you are always more than welcome to bring any reagents that you find here, and I will be more than happy to craft potions for you.
Quite wonderful.
Perhaps we can deepen a relationship in terms of mutual research as you are delving into areas of Drakkenheim I dare not go. Bearing in mind very specifically the size of the delirium crystal is important. In the largest size grow in the crater.
Do you have a particular endeavor that requires a crystal of a particular size? Or is it simply a matter of the more and the larger you can get, the better?
The latter. Hey, go ahead and roll insight on that. 4, 5.
Bigger the better.
Ooh, that is a 17.
17. 6 of one, half dozen the other. Like, he might have stuff. He's not gonna tell you, outright, at least right now. He might have some stuff spinning in the back of his head for large delirium crystals. But at the moment, he's just like, more power the better. Let's rock and roll. Let's get it in here, and we'll see what I can do with it.
Okay. So my takeaway is he does have something in mind, but it's not the kind of thing where he's like, yes, get me one of this size, because that's just an impossible ask.
Yeah.
But if we happen to come across something.
Yeah.
Yes. Erasmus, Ryan, was there anything else you wanted to do while we were here? Did you want to acquire any potions? Oh, Erasmus, you are quiet.
I said, if we could have a rest, if we're welcome to stay as a gesture of good faith. I think we've traveled hard through the inner sanctum to reach here. We brought Eldritch Lilies from the most fatal of foes, and we are finding ourselves steeped in opportunity to keep at it for the prosperity of knowledge.
Oh yes, would you mind terribly much if we stayed and recovered before making our way back?
Yes, you're welcome to avail yourself of any rest here. It's still early in the day, so you can find yourself a moment of respite before you begin your journey.
Wonderful. Oh yes, and here's the tea.
yeah, exactly. Turns out the tea was on the table the whole time.
You blew it over with your ascension power.
Yeah, that's when it showed up. One of the apprentices was like, "Oh my god!" Great.
Well,
Okay.
Shall we adjourn to one of these side chambers?
Yes. So he each of the apprentices kind of bows as Oscar walks out through the same door that he came in.
Right. We're totally gonna follow him as he's going through his door to see if we can get through that door.
Well, so he goes through the door, the apprentices follow, and the door shuts immediately after. Okay. So you are in the kind of study, or like the drawing room. You have the foyer, and then you have outside. And you're welcome to kind of rest in any of these spaces. Short rest or long rest. Again, this is also in Drakkenheim, so you wouldn't get the benefits of a long rest. Also, don't know how happy Oscar will be if he just plop on his table and take a nap, like a full 8-hour nap, but and then cross that road when you get to it. But you're welcome to whatever you would like to do.
Speaking in hushed tones, I would like to put forth the idea that Oscar may be much more valuable as an ally who we aid in making his potions less poisonous than as someone who we rob and run away from.
If he presents himself as amiable to us having this opportunity to rest, I think that'll be the real test of it.
Man, I called it with that necromancer cabal thing, though, huh?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, actually.
That was like a long distance home run call. It was very Babe Ruth, episode 2 or something.
Did you know your skin and veins were gonna do that?
No, not at all. I to be perfectly honest, I cast that first corruptive spell, fully expecting it to be my last one. Just a one and done. But things just keep going well.
Here we are.
I've seen no reason to stop.
You are an experiment of the gods gone horribly wrong, and I am so excited to see what happens.
No gods involved in this.
It's fair.
That's what the
Only
gods want you to
Thales.
think.
I'm an experiment of myself.
Thales is the cat on top of the cat tree, be like, I see no god up here except me.
Right. I was about to say, is that it would behoove the observer to be unobserved in all experiments, I thought.
So from our, so what? And again, hushed tones. So if we leave here with a relationship,
yes,
we can
we
help
will
them
have
out.
a source of potions that are better than what we have access to now.
It's not a secret that I'm not 100% comfortable with everything that's going on. I also
Which part?
the ogres, the necromancy,
Wait, what issue? Did you know those ogres?
no, but they I am not. I haven't spent enough time in the city to not be concerned. To me, they
It's
look like monstrosities.
no. Okay, so it truly is just an automata. It just so happens to be the case that the easiest sort of magical servant to create is one that already had anima channeled through it at some point in time previously. There's nothing inherently evil about it, though of course it does bother people when you take their families' bodies, right? Which is why the most moral way to do it, take bodies where nobody's concerned about them, like ogres or orphans.
I
Excuse me?
this is
Well,
this is
no,
new.
no, I'm sorry. I did not mean to imply that nobody cares about orphans. Clearly, many orphans have many people who care about them. I was using that as shorthand for people that nobody cares about.
Totally giving Ghost the big eyes. I'm like, look, I understand this is something you're comfortable with. And I know you understand that people who haven't spent the time that you have with this, look, I don't know how to say it. This is a little creepy. And it's not,
Help blow that up for me. What's creepy?
in your world, bringing back people from the dead and having them walk and speak is
Speaking's amazing. That's really hard. I don't know how to do that.
that, yeah.
I
You know
I,
what?
I
It
wonder if
is.
it's something. It speaks so slowly. I couldn't even tell which of my questions it was answering because I was getting through like 4 or 5 of them by the time it answered one. But if I had like a couple weeks to like drill down and really figure out how, I mean, I could just ask Oscar, but he's clearly a trade secrets kind of guy.
It's a little tight
I'll
lipped.
make sure to ask him to hook you up when you die.
I think that we only benefit from having a good supply of potions, and not we, just us. That helps the Hooded Lanterns. That helps everybody else,
Of all
and
Drakkenheim.
exactly anyone we can help
Think of all those
helps.
people who are suffering from corruption that will simply suffer untreated without Oscar here.
Well, and yes,
Mm.
and this will help people spend more time in Drakkenheim to, well, take care of the monstrosities that are here. Those that aren't nice monstrosities. Nice monstrosities?
Honestly, I really think he's just like, I think he's underselling how valuable what he's providing is. Clearly, his Aquasburgo is in such high demand that he cannot produce enough to meet it. He could lower that demand by just letting people know that he's experimenting on them, and have part of their payment be telling him what they experience. That would be right. If demand was lower, then that would be a bad business move. But given, I feel like he could get away with that. And there's a value to double blinding and not having people know. But even so,
Yes.
if they're walking away and not drinking the potion around you, your data is trash.
I'm thinking he's probably thinking, he's probably fortifying his position for a time when he can say that. Because starting out, you don't go announcing yourself as the new pimp on the corner the moment you show up. You're going to get absolutely killed.
I expect he just hates the business side of things, and
most creatives do.
Is putting no effort into it. But there's just as many fascinating technicalities in business as there are in research.
Well,
but in any case, it's the task of convincing him seems beyond me in this moment.
Honestly, I think that this is the moment. Look at you. You're he wants to study you like you wanted his attention all those years ago.
I don't think so. I hope to intrigue him a little bit, and it seems to have failed. I think if we really like to secure, and I want to apologize a little bit for the way he is. That just that's normal for him.
Hey, it's not. You don't have to apologize for him.
Okay, yeah, excellent.
That's him. That's him. That's him. That's not you.
That's wizard's shit.
Truly just a genius researcher. And that's what's important, right? Is the quality of the work. If we really wanted to deepen this relationship, I think the best thing we could do is kill your mother. Which there's all kinds of issues with that. We could certainly just not do that. We're in a good position right now.
Can we not talk about this here?
Oh, okay, it's of course a sensitive topic. Absolutely.
I still count myself as an orphan despite new information received.
There's a lot to unpack there.
There's
a lot to unpack.
I hope you didn't think I was talking about you when I said orphans that nobody cares about. Clearly, you're only mostly an orphan, and lots of people care about you, and would even if you were a full orphan.
Thank you, Fairies. Thank you very much.
Silver-tongued devil, our Fairies. Silver-tongued devil.
Faily's not gonna get killed by the delirium. He's gonna talk himself into death. Someone's just gonna kill him.
I want to try something regarding that woman, who I don't think I'll consider my mother.
Yes. She is the most relevant aspect. However, any genetic diseases, definitely your mother there.
We don't even know if she is genetically related to me.
We know you're right, Ghost. We know very little about what that really is.
I mean, per her implication, I would think that at least she thinks she's genetically related to you.
And that's scientifically what?
I don't know what genes are, but
I'm going to say this. I have a scroll of remove curse. I want to try it on her and see what happens.
That's an excellent idea. I wonder what would happen.
Would you like to come with me to try it out?
Yes, yeah, entirely. I expect we'll need to subdue her first.
I have a mind that if we can just get close enough to remove the curse, she could perhaps be something of a good leader again, of a person who isn't so messed up in the head from all the delirium haze.
I would dispute at least the first part of that, but regardless, she might be, tolerable. That would be a big step up.
I'd say to help a lot of moving pieces that we don't have to pick up and handle. She would distract a lot if she was of the right mind.
If we're going to do that, be sure to blind her with sand or ink before you do, so she can't employ counter magic.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so am I does it seem like we are going to go back to Queen's Garden and get more Eldritch Lilies for Oscar?
I think he can get his own Eldritch Lilies at that point, but we can unrestrict the flow of Eldritch Lilies. We could also do that by cultivating them somewhere else where she's not quite such a big issue. That would be very achievable as well.
I think that's a fantastic idea. My
we could do that, and then we wouldn't have to kill your mother at all, or even think about it.
Not my mother.
What's a better word?
The Queen. How about just the Queen?
I've been kind of not using that.
We're still somewhere
who might overhear.
Yep. Never mind. I'm in a great company. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Just her. Yeah. Well, Oscar already knows. Oscar knows that she's there.
Oscar does, but lots of other people don't.
If anyone had listened and overheard us or scried upon us in the last I don't know, 5 minutes, they would have gained an enormous amount of information that they
Only
shouldn't
if they
have
were
gotten.
scrying at at the precise moment. Since
No, since beginning to end, which honestly would be the move I would.
we were just talking about killing your mother. That's a totally normal thing.
And then we added the part of the clarifying point on who my mother is.
Yes.
So
Fine.
Scry is a very short window. It's incredibly difficult difficult to catch the actual relevant bits of a conversation. Most of the time, you just scry in on people pooping.
It's
It's a thing.
can you see right now, Phales?
Not as such. I have a sense of my environment. I haven't decided what to call this sense yet.
What are we thinking is next?
Maybe Faley's vision. Yes?
I'm making a very disappointed expression right now.
I can tell.
Okay.
What are we thinking is next? We came to talk about the potions and try to help that. We
That's-
know how to do it, but I don't know if we want to be the ones to do that.
We could visit the guardian of Queen's Park. We are quite close to the notes. We are quite close to the why didn't I write this down right? The Amethyst Academy Tower.
Oh yeah, it's like the Inscrutable Tower.
Oh, the Inscrutable Tower. Thank you. I wrote down the name wrong.
Looking for.
Yes, the Inscrutable Tower, which there may be things there. Things which were left in a hurry. Things which might be quite exciting for someone of an arcane persuasion. We have the oh goodness, what's the island that we were talking about? My notes are just all over the place. It should be in goals.
I'll say this. I know that we've grown in power and positioning in Drakkenheim to reach out and touch any place from our home base.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Ryan wants to go to find her family's business. That's a matter
That's
of just
close.
That's a matter of just walking there. And I wanted to put it to rest, whatever needs to be discerned so that we can get to the next piece of what we need to take care of, which might be so dangerous that we don't get this chance for Ryan.
That seems prudent.
And
It is near the Queen's Garden.
And then we go to the Queen's Garden, say hello to Her Majesty, and see if I can free her of the paranoid mental.
And should we need to flee, we can simply snatch Lily on our way out, and begin see if we can root some cuttings in another less hostile part of the deep haze.
Well, we do have the advantage this time of knowing more than we knew last time when we went in.
Go ahead and roll, as you kind of think about cultivating the lilies again, go ahead and roll nature for me. Felix.
Yeah, absolutely. 15?
15. 15 is pretty good. So your conversation with Oscar was fruitful in ways you probably didn't expect. In the idea of like when the idea came to you to like cultivate the lilies.
Yeah. We saw the difficulty of that before, but I had assumed that he had tried more things,
right? And
the revelation that there were some low-hanging fruit that he hadn't tried made the task feel a lot simpler.
Yeah, so that was a big thing, is that when he said that he tried, I don't think it was like, oh, I really went through all the pulled out all the stops for it.
Yeah.
I think he
He didn't
like,
try my first thought, which is cultivated in the deep haze.
Well, either that or, he literally was kind of the vibe where you go to the grocery store, you buy like the chives in the plastic thing and put it in the ground.
He's not a horticulturalist. This is not the
100%.
part that he has fun with.
Right. And so, maybe he only got that far. Maybe if you had more of them and running water, that you could start to cultivate it. On a nature check, as you kind of start to think through, your kind of mind kind of jots down that way. There is a cruel irony, I think, in Oscar Yoren's dedication to his research so heavily that he doesn't realize that his attempt at like a potted plant Eldritch Lily didn't work and therefore abandoned the whole thing. Isn't that it's not possible, it's just that he sucks at it. Like that thought like didn't occur to him. It is entirely possible that an Eldritch Lily could be it not one, but a large grouping of them could be planted at Reed Manor and be like not even in the deep haze. Like that's like it comes to you, you're like, the deep haze makes sense, but what does it get really? Right? It like when you think of like how horticulturalism works, it's seed, stamen, pollination, water. All of those pieces need to be contaminated.
The Eldritch Lilies were planted post fall of Drakkenheim. Did those exist in Drakkenheim pre-fall?
So an Eldritch Lily, ultimately, when it boils down to it, is just a contaminated lily that grew in contaminated soil and was watered by contaminated water.
Lily.
And so Oscar literally like pulled one out and was like, cool, and put it into a pot and was like, oh, it died. This is useless, and just abandoned that project. So, that's not how growing stuff works, right?
No.
Like you need a
and
garden.
Also, like the lilies are, if they're just essentially a processing vessel for delirium, there's probably some way to cut out the middleman there.
Right. So it's entirely
basically
possible. The issue is that you would need a considerable amount of lilies to actually have a maintainable garden.
Yeah.
So gathering one probably will not yield what you're looking for. You will get a good lily, but you may not get a sustainable source of gardening.
Do we have any idea what that number would be? What is a sustainable number?
No
clue.
There were
a large amount, 24.
There were a ton of plants in that pond, right? Just most of them weren't flowering.
Well, yeah. So that's the thing, is that you have to get like not just the picked lilies, because a cut flower is dying, right? It doesn't have roots. So you need something that's root and stem. So you have to go find them, pull them out of the ground, and replant them somewhere else.
We free my biological person allegedly from this curse.
Person.
Yes, we'll just free this. We'll free this person from the curse. If they're friendly about it, great. If they're not, then we'll cross that road when we get there. But at the very least, I'll feel better knowing that I tried to heal a piece of Drakkenheim that I think it could use in the future. For even just bringing together the organizational might of the remainder factors of courts and factions no longer fighting, a commonality that was familiar to the traditionalists, or something revolutionary for the people who are of a bit more progressive mindset.
So this is something that we would like to do. Is it something that we're confident that we can do without dying?
I think so. But the perk is, either way, if they are an ally to us, they will help us foster lilies and always have a source of lilies that we can continuously grow. Or we do the violent way, preserve ourselves, and take over the garden as a place we can consistently go to for the supplies. Because why change the environment that's working so well?
Well, it is in the deep haze, which is unpleasant to go into.
Well, and I think something something else that it would, if you got a way to remove these levels of contamination, to take that away, then that's as significant as anything that
Well,
we've thought of.
that one takes an hour. I don't think she's contaminated. I think she's cursed, though I'm not sure. A curse I can take away in a moment. Contamination would have to lean on Phales's insight on how best to restrain someone or trick someone to being asleep or some such long enough.
She appeared. Appeared to be. She was tentacled out and stuff, right?
No, she was just a little
She's the person.
little masked up,
Okay.
little covered up.
I mean, she doesn't look like a normal human. If that's, she looks closer to the zombies outside than she does like a normal human. If that helps.
So, would I know if I need to remove contamination or remove curse? Because that changes everything I've just said.
What leads you to believe that she's cursed?
You can roll. I'll say.
I suppose it's just a deep hope, perhaps, more than anything, and
perhaps we should not stake our lives on a hope.
I would.
Okay.
You could do either nature or arcana to kind of. Essentially, what you're trying to do is answer the question of would this work?
Would this work? Okay. That is a good roll. I've been rolling silly rolls. Let's see. All right. 25.
25 is a great roll. No, neither of the things that you have in your possession will solve the problem that you are attempting to solve.
25, could I get a clue as to what would be needed to be done?
Yes, because 25 is a fantastic roll. There are opportunities abound within Drakkenheim. They do not... Let me rephrase. They can exist within or under the cloud of fog that is Drakkenheim. They are few and far between, and they are not cheap. And I'm not talking money.
Do I think that the rod that we had found earlier could have this power?
Probably not.
Okay.
This power, essentially what you're looking for is to siphon out or to remove contamination on a large level.
Contaminated.
Yeah.
And
without destroying them.
Well, and especially something that has been contaminated for so long, right? The mind may not be or may not ever fully recover, but at least the contamination level, because they haven't gone full monstrosity, can be removed, right? It's almost to the level of no going back, but not quite there yet. In order to do that, there are only a couple things that are available, and only a couple people that would do it. Amethyst Academy comes to mind as one that it's possible that they have something. They're gonna need something pretty big in order to make that happen, right?
This guy.
It's possible that Queen of Thieves, who none of you have met yet, does have something that can make it possible, or has information about something that could make it possible.
The Amethyst Academy would probably do it in exchange for having a puppet queen, right? Like that would be the kind of thing that would get them out of bed for this. Probably not any payment we could give them besides here is a queen for you to puppeteer Dragon
control. Yeah, 100%. There's also the Followers of the Falling Fire, but you are essentially taking or moving something that has been naturally contaminated with delirium, which they believe is a blessing, to cure it in their mind. In order to do that, the law of equal exchange would mean that something else has to happen, and because it is the Queen Regent, something of equivalent value needs to be laid at their feet. and that's not a small ask. None of these things are small asks. These are massive asks of factions. But what you are looking for, and I guess on a 25, I will tell you what you are looking for is the equivalent of a wish spell.
Oh, damn.
That's kind of the level we're talking. We're not talking small stuff, right? Like, Ophelia Reed couldn't do this magic.
Damn.
Right, like, it's possible that if the Amethyst Academy could get into Oscar Yoren's brain, they could come up with a way to do it, because he may have the pieces that they can use for further experiments or research that way. That would take time, which is
Eventually.
fine. You know, but they could eventually get there. But again, their ask is going to be pretty big. One, you're going to have to off your Oscar because they need the research anyway. And then they're going to ask for more on top of that, because they were only going to give you 250 gold for Oscar's brain to begin with.
Right.
You know, so like the goal that you're looking for, or the answer that you're looking for, the goal that you're trying to get to, is a valid one and is a possible one. But it is like,
is it worth it?
It's got to be one of your like long goals that you're like, we're working towards this, because you know, it's, unless you find something that casts wish tomorrow, you know, it's probably not going to be resolved pretty quickly. You're going to have to go talk to people, you know, factionalize, politicize, work your way up in the ranks, and start to meet these factions and be their friends in order to have a chance at asking them, hey, could you restore the Queen Regent's brain?
Yeah.
Which could change based on how you understand how they're politicking.
Yeah.
So.
So perhaps we will find some great working of magic on the way there. If not, however, we could simply collect the lilies.
Yeah, I think we'd better just collect the lilies. It's
Work on our own cultivation project.
I still have people I'm looking for in the haze. At the very least, their bodies.
Though we should prepare that. We should prepare. We should do some preparation for that first. If we want to cultivate these, we should have a pond. That would be good.
We have space.
A way to keep the water fresh and thoroughly corrupted, both at the same time.
I have the ability to do both of those.
I can handle the corrupted part if you handle the fresh part.
I can do that. Yeah, I have the ability to do that.
And honestly, after our encounter with Oscar here, I think this man's lost his touch. I think we should put together our own. Well, no, we won't be there all the time. Yeah. Let's help get him set up and teach one of these apprentices how to grow plants.
Absolutely.
I say with the unshakable confidence of somebody who probably is not going to be successful in this endeavor, but we'll see.
Look, the best thing that happens is we help Oscar, and we're helping ourselves and everybody else by making it safer, not safer, less deadly to
Pretty
spend
important
time in
distinction.
Drakkenheim. Yeah, absolutely. And the worst thing is we tried, it didn't work. But maybe there's some, maybe we still have a potential ally in Oscar because we tried.
Yes. So back to the earlier point. Where do we want to set out for next? There was the island where we believe that the Isle of Skye, where the devices that reflect those found in ancient elven sites. There may be pieces we can use to repair our clock tower. Wouldn't that be nice to have a functioning clock?
Let's add it to the list then, and we'll do it in order of what we can get done on the way home.
Yes. With Ryan's family, of course, being visiting Ryan's restaurant being, of course, highest priority. But looking at the map.
Yep. If when we're in the neighborhood, absolutely, I would very much like to do that.
Look at that! That's the inscrutable tower, like right here.
It's literally casting a shadow over Queen's Park.
Right.
It's awesome.
We can probably see it from out here.
Oh yeah, it's you can see it from everywhere in Drakkenheim. It's actually one of the ways that you navigate.
I thought it was inscrutable.
It's just cut in half. It's scrutable.
It's very scrutable.
It's been full screwed.
Yeah.
Full screwed. Look, we're here. We're feeling good. Look at Failies. Yeah, we're feeling good.
I'm feeling.
Why not carry on?
Magical. This has been a revelatory day.
You look magical. All right, so are we off to? So we have choices. We're going to get lilies. We're going to the tower.
Yeah, you got a couple things. So if you're looking at the map, you're at 7. 1, you are more than welcome to work your way through 1 again. That was your gate that you ran through. 10 is the tower. 9 is the garrison. That's where the hooded lanterns tend to hang out in the inner city. It's kind of like a quote unquote safe haven. Obviously, it is still in the haze, so how safe could it possibly really truly be?
Safer haven.
100%. But it's got a bunch of hooded lanterns in it. That's the guard place. Should there be an incursion of monsters, it'll be handily dealt with.
I like that.
5 is the gate. You can go through Shepherd's Gate. They do owe you a favor to go through Shepherd's Gate. Then there's a couple more interesting things kind of around and about. So you have 21, which is a place called the Rose Theater. I'm only saying a lot of this because Ghost, this is your jam. You have all this stuff kind of marked down. And Ryan, this is kind of your neighborhood. You kind of grew up in this spot. So both of you kind of know this zone.
Us orphans got to stick together, Ryan. Let's make a move.
Put my arm around him. Here we are. Welcome to Drakkenheim.
Yeah, so you have Rose Theater is 21, and then St. Vitruvio's Cathedral is number 11. That's in the Temple Ward. That's kind of the big pieces in this area that you haven't explored yet. All of them you can make an excuse for all of them being on the way back to the clock tower if you're trying to get there. But it is up to you kind of around where you would like to go. Obviously, 6 is also your Rat's Nest Tavern. That's where you've already been. And then there is a section called the Sprawl, which is also its own zone that you kind of skirted by last time. So realistically, you can kind of go and do whatever you choose to do. It has been a couple of days since you've checked in at Emberwood. But should you need information, you can always ask people at Shepherd's Gate or the garrison for news.
I feel like in this instance it would be it would behoove us to go through Shepherd's Gate so we can inform the hooded lanterns that the stock of Aquaspergo is likely refreshed right now, though likely to return to unreliability in the future after that. And that would also allow us to encounter fewer spiders.
That works. Yeah, let's go back and let's check in, give them information, and also get a chance to get information from them. See what's going on.
Right. I like it.
Right. To Shepherd's Gate.
Shepherd's Gate.
Shepherd's Gate. All right. Let me.
And looking for giant delirium shards on the way.
Yeah, why not?
Or medium delirium shards.
So I will say, as above the table mechanically, you can either walk forward for an hour, or you can search around you for an hour. Both of which have the same encounter kind of rule. But you can find stuff if you search around for an hour, which could be delirium.
That'd be cool.
I'm very interested in just hunting around for delirium. I feel like we might be best served by doing that hunting in areas that are less thoroughly picked.
Yeah.
get out here.
It's a pretty
Yeah.
high traffic area. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's great. Obviously, delirium benefits you. It's also got a lot of value.
I like
Trade, trade it for gold.
that. Yeah, I like this.
Cool. Okay, so no searching for delirium, just going for Shepherd's Gate.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Awesome. So based on the map, and where did my map go? There it is.
From 7 to 1.
Well,
No,
you're
sorry,
going to
from
7
7
to
to
5.
7 to
Yeah,
5,
7
yeah.
to 5 is. Yeah, about an hour. Great. So that would be an encounter roll.
Ooh.
So
I got the hundreds.
let's go it again.
The 20.
I got the 10.
You got 100?
No. Sorry, I said I'll roll the D100.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
That's an 11 for me.
Okay. I'm trying to find it right now. Hold on.
Oof.
It's here somewhere. I don't know why. I'm just like, I'm having a trouble. Here we go. Oh my god. Okay. All right. So what did you get in the 100? 11.
11.
Okay. And what was the 10?
1.
1. Okay. And the 20?
6.
A 6. Okay. Those were arguably some of the worst rolls you guys could have done, which is great. And not in the sense of bad, but in the sense of dull.
Okay.
So you, as long as you have spent inside the city of Drakkenheim, you still get really turned around, and you find yourself going through areas that look clearly are picked clean. There's like, a break off of the meteor that hit the city has destroyed a lot of the houses in this neighborhood. So there doesn't seem to be anything for you to loot through. There doesn't seem to be anything to find. No enemies to fight, and you are now going the opposite direction. So you still have to make an encounter roll should you want to continue towards Shepherd's Gate.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it.
And Rye's frustration, like, I used to know this area. I
Oh, it's
used
changed
to be
quite a bit.
familiar with it. Indeed.
24
Yeah,
on the
better.
100 this time. We're really,
Nice.
really hammering those low rolls.
Yeah.
9 on the 10.
9. Okay.
And 10 on the 20.
10 on the 20. Okay. Okay. Okay.
And roughly at this point, what time is it? I think we set out early traveling with the silver order to the gate.
Mhm.
Went to Oscar Yoren's, stayed there for probably 2 hours.
Yeah, rested a little bit. Yeah, it's about early afternoon, if not mid
Okay,
afternoon.
cool.
So as you're making your way through this section of the city, I'm only kind of pausing here because you're moving at a normal speed, which puts you at a disadvantage as you're moving through Drakkenheim. And the only reason I'm pointing out this section early as opposed to just kind of tossing you in it is you've encountered these things relatively recently. Is that you turn a corner and you see these multiversal strands kind of crossing the street in front of you, almost like shattered glass.
Oh,
And they fill the street in front of you, kind of going onto each of the buildings to the side. And you turn the corner and go, whoop.
I think we're gonna go a different route.
Okay.
Hard pivot. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll take you a good distance. So let's go ahead and.
I guess whoever scoured that region didn't do quite a thorough enough job.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just set it on fire and walk away.
Oh, sure. If it's a web, I might. Yeah.
Go ahead.
start it on fire.
We'll do it again. Go ahead and roll another one. Just another set of them. Because you didn't get any benefit from that, and
All right.
you entirely avoided it.
That is a 10.
A 10. Okay.
Oh, a 1 on the 10.
A 5.
A 5.
Nice.
Okay, so again, exact same roll. You're hopelessly lost. In fact, you pass by the street with the web like 6 or 7 times. You're like, I could swear we're going the right way.
And these spiders all over the place.
We have a new threat we need to take care of. This is getting crazy.
Just okay, stop. I need to get my bearings. It's been 15 years, but how we'll get it right this time.
Are there? Wait a second. We're trying to head towards the inscrutable tower, right?
You're heading towards the gate. Yeah, you're going
Towards
to the
the
gates,
gate.
right?
Oh,
yeah.
right. We got to get to the gate first. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
I feel like we're doing that thing where like you've been driving too long and you're like, we must have passed the off ramp,
Yeah,
and we're
right.
stopping and turning around right before we get there.
100%. Yeah. The street is like, there's a sign that says gate that way, like Shepherd's Gate
Right.
that way, and you're like,
Yeah.
we're too
like,
far. We gotta...
Okay, we'll have to restart the song, but
Alright,
we get
yeah.
like really into the like solo part of Bohemian Rhapsody that we miss it every miss the
Okay.
exit.
We're gonna look again.
Yeah, go it again.
Let's just
Yeah.
do this.
And so there is another option,
God.
which is you go slower, you roll twice, but you roll with advantage for each of these.
We can do that, right?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So you're going slower. So you're going to do 2 encounter rolls, but
It's gonna
you
put
have
us to
advantage on
evening,
them.
right?
Yes, this will put you early evening. Yeah.
All right. On the 20, I got a 5 and a 4. I got like the same rolls.
I got a 45 and a 91.
91. Love to see it. Okay.
On the 10, it is an 8 and a 3.
So 8, and then that. Okay. Okay, and because you are moving slower, you do get the ability to like stealth and move around these. The only reason you didn't or you had the ability on the last one is that those things don't shock you because you just recently dealt with them, and so it's not like you're gonna randomly.
The
walk
second we
into
see
something.
the webs at all,
100%.
we're like, we know what this is.
Yeah,
Right,
no, we're
yeah.
good. Yeah, 100%. Great.
Well,
So
it's the people who can see think that.
Right. And actually, when we see it, Ryan makes a little note of where it is, because might come back and kill those. Okay.
Yeah.
okay, so as you are moving forward, I'm gonna need a couple things. We're gonna do another roll, another encounter roll, but I also would like perception rolls from each of you before you do your roll.
Okay. For the another encounter roll that we're doing right now.
Yeah, so we're gonna do another encounter roll.
Okay.
But
first
before we do
perception.
that, perception, and roll it with, I think it's with advantage because you're moving slowly. I forget if it gives you advantage or just doesn't give you not advantage. Hold on. Just normal, so just regular.
Okay, that's a 20 for me.
20, okay.
Perception.
Yeah, perception.
Yeah, perception.
19.
19, okay.
15.
15, okay. Okay, and then everyone roll their encounter roll. I'll get that set up too.
73 this time.
Nice. Getting the high numbers now.
6 on the 20.
6.
2 on the 10.
God
You know, every single time you've rolled the 20, it's been the exact same. It's literally 1 through 7 is the option on this table.
Yep. I haven't rolled higher than a 6.
It's so funny.
With advantage.
So as you're walking through, you don't immediately see things show up. There's nothing like blocking the road or anything like that. You start to hear like the crunching of dirt under boots, but above you, like on rooftops. But you turn, you don't see anything. You start to hear like a quick run down an alley, and you don't see anything. And you're starting to get more on edge and more on edge and more on edge, and you turn the corner. Finally, you find a sign that says Shepherd's Gate, and you start to follow it that way. And as you kind of turn one of the corners heading towards Shepherd's Gate, as you're near the gate, you see a group of 6 hooded lanterns right in front of you. And they're actually kind of like prepared. Like they seem to be kind of like ready for combat. And they see you, halt. Who goes there? And they kind of, because it's starting to get dark, they kind of like hold up a little lantern.
It is it's Ghost and Faley's the Curious and Ryan DeLine. We're friends.
You kind of hold it up and I've heard your names about.
We're friends.
Do you know you're being stalked by the Queen's men?
Oh, are we really? That's fascinating.
Yeah, and you just see one of the people in the back just kind of goes like, and just shoots an arrow and just right into the tops of the buildings, and you see this cloaked figure.
Out there?
You see this like cloaked figure, and it shoots through his cloak, but he kind of just disappears, and you just hear, God damn, and you just hear shuffling as like from like 6 directions, just as they all kind of disappear into the shadows.
I'm gonna shout after them. I owe you a beer if that's you.
And you see just this one rock just.
We need to pay better attention. No, we didn't know they were there. Glad you're here though. We're friends with Petra, and she told us that this would be a safe place, and well, you proved that right off the bat.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're friends with Petra, then you should come this way. Kind of motions to you with his spear and kind of puts his lantern on a hook on his hip, and starts to kind of walk back the way that they were coming from. And just kind of another turn lands you in front of Shepherd's Gate. You find, the same large gate that you saw before. A decent number of hooded lanterns kind of hanging out, torches going because the sun is setting. As you approach the gate, doesn't look like Petra is here, or he seems handsome. Is here. Doesn't look. There's no faces that you recognize immediately in this space. You've seen a couple of the faces before because like they're guards that will cycle in and out, but you don't recognize any of them.
Anyone with any kind of symbols of rank?
Not really. They don't. They have a couple symbols of rank, and you do see one that seems to be like nothing ostentatious.
Chandelier himself.
Yeah. No.
But whoever seems to be very locally, like like on the ground right here, in charge. I'm gonna inform them that Oscar Yorn has a fresh supply of eldritch lilies, and his potions are probably less poisonous than usual right now.
Right, and so you kind of walk up and you go to essentially the watch guard, or the watch captain.
That's kind of what I'm looking for.
And tell him that Oscar Yorn, his supply might be refilled, and the latest batch is probably going to be better than the ones they've been drinking.
Yeah, I'm going to stop by the garrison and tell them too, but just in case somebody passes through who needs that information.
Yeah, and he kind of means to and says, well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, you must be friends with Petra. To kind of know that we've been dealing with that, or Ansem, they've been the two kind of heading that project up.
So we
really
eviscerated a rat nest.
I would expect that after I don't know, like a week out or something, I would expect the potions to return to being unreliable for the moment.
Gotcha. And he kind of signals to what looks like a page. Kind of runs up and he whispers something and he runs through the gate to the inner city, and just seems to be like a full sprint kind of down in the direction of the garrison that you know to be the garrison.
I figure letting them know so they can go and buy the good potions before those are gone.
Yeah, and they're in the perfect advantage to be able to be like, yep, send a couple people over there to get a bunch of boxes and come back.
Cool.
It's just, I really appreciate it. We'll let the garrison know. They'll dispatch a group really quick. Strike team to head over there. So,
shall we continue on?
Let's do it.
All right.
So Petra said that you get, or at least we have knowledge that your group gets one free passage due to the help that you have provided Petra and Ansem. As a gesture of good faith from the Hooded Lanterns.
Gotcha. It's a one free passage kind of thing.
There and back. You are more than welcome to exit as well. You're not locked into the inner city. We would never lock anyone in. We just had some Silver Order people show up occasionally. We just escorted them back to Emberwood.
And the time when we came here, peeked through the gate, and then decided not to go in didn't count.
Didn't count. Because they also offered like free passage to the garrison should you want it, and you declined it. And so they're like, well, I mean, you could just come through the gate. Like, that's fine. But normally there is a charge associated with it.
Oh, cool. Okay, normally it's a charge and not a screw you, go away.
No. Yeah, they charge. They're very much like trying to fill the coffers so that they could afford to keep operating here.
Very reasonable.
Yeah.
Let's press onward to the inscrutable tower.
That's great. I need your punch card because you need it. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Fifth one's free.
Yeah. Great. So he lets you pass into once again the inner city of Drakkenheim. Where are you intending to go? Are you intending to go to the inscrutable tower?
Yeah.
Is that the game plan?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Wait, is that what we said or no? Oh, do we want to do Ryan's family restaurant first? It's kind of on the way, right?
I really want to do that.
Let's do that
for Ryan.
Yeah. If that's on the way, it'd be fantastic. I don't even.
So that will take you a little bit east of Queen's Park Garden. It's just in kind of that clump of neighborhoods between Old Town and Queen's Park Garden.
Okay, it's still close.
So it's close. Like you can get there. It's not, it would be the same distance from like the tower to, from where you are now to the tower or to that.
And we are skirting the deep haze. I don't really want to go in there.
That seems only to be in Queen's Park.
Cool.
So dealer's choice. Where
yeah. Look, we're here. I don't know when we're going to get back. Yeah. Let's do this. I'll be quick. I don't even know if it's still there.
Okay.
But there's some things I want to retrieve if it is.
Okay. Great.
Fascinating. An archaeological expedition.
Very much an archaeological expedition. Yeah.
All right. Well, now we are inner city again, which means that it's Spicy Town again. So let's get weird. How fast are you moving through the inner city?
I think. Do we want to try to go slow and be stealthy?
It is night, right?
It is now night. Yes.
Okay, so we have to go slow to have the option of being stealthy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looking around, I'm all for caution through here. Absolutely all for being cautious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd rather that.
I'm gonna go ahead and use a 3rd level spell slot to cast invisibility on Ghost and Ryan as we're passing.
Okay. So this will mean that you have to do you will have to do 2 encounter rolls on this, but you do have the option, obviously now, with stealth, and then for a couple of these stealth with advantage, to make your way through the inner city because you're moving slow.
Very good.
So go ahead and we'll do the first set. So I just need 100, 10, and 20 from everybody.
That's a 28 for me. Hopefully getting over that getting lost threshold.
I'm right, and I'm starting to know the neighborhood. It's very familiar. That's a 6 on a 10.
14 finally, above a 6.
There we go.
Double digits anyway, man. Double digits.
Okay. Great. So as you start to make your way, you kind of pass by the garrison. You kind of see where it is. There's a whole bunch of light. There's pretty much one of the only places inside the inner city of Drakkenheim that has a considerable amount of light. There are other places that have light. Considerable amount would be very much overstating it. This looks like a little town. Like it looks like a section of the city that is vibrant and enjoyed. Mm-hmm. The other lights in the city are not 9 on your map. So you pass by the garrison, kind of swing wide past it. And as you're going through, I need everyone to roll me perception checks. Just normal perception checks.
18.
18? Yeah.
10.
Okay.
16.
16. You hear like a large group kind of shuffling through the streets, banging into walls in kind of a low, moan or gibberish as it kind of shuffles through, and you kind of peek your head around the corner, and you see about 10 to 11 dregs, like the delirium dregs, kind of wandering through. Delirium-based zombies, essentially, wandering kind of through these streets here. You also see two larger kind of haze hulks that are just kind of, the delirium has taken their bodies entirely and expanded them. One has like a long tentacle arm, the other one has a claw in his hand, kind of wandering almost aimlessly through these streets. And everyone roll me a stealth check if you are intending to avoid them or at least get the jump on them.
Cool. Both of you have advantage.
Yes.
That's a good thing. Oh, that's a great thing.
It's a 19 for me.
Nice. It's a good roll.
I have advantage too from the Cloak of Elvenkind.
Oh, yes. Even better.
12.
Excellent.
12, okay.
22.
22. Okay. So as the group stealth, that's enough successes. So yeah, you can sneak by these should you want to, or you can engage them and get a surprise round. It's up to you.
I think we're just trying to. I don't think we're trying to fight a bunch of dregs unless
No way.
Ryan's feeling hungry.
Yeah, no, I'm like, let's
That doesn't
keep
seem
going.
appetizing.
Let's keep going. I don't know. Did you see the tender tentacle? Never mind. Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah. So you start moving through, kind of eyeing the prize. As you're stepping through the alleyway, one street over, Ghost, you are walking through the street and your foot slips on something. Not loud enough to like cause a problem, but just enough to be like, ugh. You kind of put your foot down and you look down, and it's a tiny little lockbox.
Oh.
That seems to be, the lock doesn't, it seems to be kind of rusted and old. It could be easily just popped open. It's in like a rubble.
Someday.
Are you guys still around?
Right. I'll reach out, put my hand on him. We're here.
Good.
I feel like it's like Dory. Ah, what was that?
Is it magical? Can I look at it to see if there's any markings, runes, or things
yeah.
that would indicate?
Go ahead and roll Arcana.
Okay. That is a 19 total.
19 total. Honestly, just looks like a lockbox. It looks like what you would store money or memories or, quite frankly, if it's like a tradesman's lockbox, like maybe bonds, or some type of loan,
Okay.
for stuff. So but usually not filled with valuables.
Can I kind of just quickly kind of point this out to Ryan and Felice? And in doing so, pull out my thieves' tools. Like, can someone give me a hand while I work this?
Oh,
like,
interesting.
watch your back?
Absolutely. Let's see what's in there.
All right.
Do it up.
That is a 18.
18. Okay, great. Super easy. Literally just you slip it in there and it goes, ding, just pops right open.
Okay.
You find 80 gold pieces.
Ooh.
80 gold pieces. I will give everyone. Let's see. I give 20 to Felice, 20 to Ryan, 20 to Olive, 20 to myself.
1 for you, 1, 2 for me, 2 for
6
you.
for me.
1, 2
I
for
now
you.
have 20 gold.
Glorious.
I brought the thieves' tools. I trained myself. I feel like I'm gonna make sure Olive gets her share of her raccoon spending money. Very classic. No, I'm kidding. If you guys need gold, let me know.
We're good.
All
right.
Good fortune. The inner city's lovely this time of night.
Cool. We're going
I think
again.
we're just pushing
Yeah.
past. Yeah.
Rolling
Another one?
again.
Another
All right,
one?
let's do it up. Yeah, encounter rolls. Let's get it.
All right. I'm burning another 3rd level slot
Okay.
for more invisibility.
All right.
Finally, here we
That's
go.
awesome. Thank you. Got an 8.
41.
40.
17 on the 20.
Okay.
And 8 on the 10. Looking down, not seeing myself. This invisibility is fun.
I know, right?
I can totally get the advantage on things that need to be, well,
The danger is that it's quite addictive. The rush of unrestrained power that you feel when you're invisible all the time. Some people just won't give it up. There's some mages that we've just lost.
I could see that.
Mhm.
This is fantastic. Yes, yes. Oh, I'm learning so much.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay. I need everyone to roll me a stealth roll.
$19.
19. Okay.
A good thing for that advantage, because the other one was a natural 1.
Is this with advantage or just straight roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, advantage. Invisible.
Oh,
17.
right. Let's see if we can do better than a 14. We can't reach you. You don't get to play. 14.
Whoops. I just
and
realized
6.
I roll straight, so hold on, because I have disadvantage. Oh, I rolled higher. Or not, I have disadvantage, advantage, so I just roll one number, and I got higher. It's 21.
21,
Nice.
19, 17.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. Okay, great. So your nat 20 is going to give you advantage on this next bit. The rest of you go ahead and roll perception for me normally because you succeeded your rolls.
Oh, that's another 19 for me.
12.
12. Okay. What'd you get, Ryan?
14, and it was a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. So Ryan, as you're kind of stealthing along with, the group, Thales being the only one who is not invisible, but also, not amazingly seen. He's not amazingly visible.
He's got the cloak pulled back in boulder mode, but like just like a boulder quietly walking along when no one's looking and then stopping.
I think you're the only one who is going to be in a spot of unsurprise when 3 shadows, like actual creatures of shadow, kind of materialize around Thales. Seeing as he's the only one walking on this street that they could see, they appear around him, and everyone's going to go ahead and have to roll a initiative. We're probably going to go ahead and do this combat next time.
Do you want us to roll now or later?
What's up?
Do you want us to roll now and save it, or do you want us to roll fresh when we start next
I
time?
think we kind of... I'm torn because I've been asking for initiative rolls at the end, and then we start, and I save them.
Okay, cool.
But I feel like it'd be more fun if we just kicked it off with a roll, because I feel like that's always more exciting.
Yeah.
So let's do that. So as Thales, you're literally walking alone down this. Had you not been alone, this wouldn't have happened to you, hilariously. But they have taken the advantage of you being the only single person that is on the street. They kind of appear around you and are moving to attack you. It looks like 2 made of pure shadow, and one that seems to have almost like humanoid style kind of a vibe to them, with like occasionally almost like lightning coursing arcane energy through it.
And are we quite close to the inscrutable tower at this point?
Oh yeah. But you're going to the restaurant, right?
So
you're close to that. But you've passed the tower. So like the tower's like a couple blocks from where you are. So is the restaurant. So like you're kind of in front of Queen's Park Garden right now. So you can see the tower. It's towering above you. It's massive and glorious. You see the Queen's Park Garden, which is beautiful, and then you know where your parents' restaurant was, right? And you know it's just a couple blocks away.
Woo. Almost there.
You are now besotted upon by the deep, dark shadows of the inner city of Drakkenheim, which we will get to on our next session. Which is glorious.
You do great at ending at places like this when I'm like, I mean, are you sure we could just keep going?
Got that magic tingling in your hands, lighting up everything one more time.
It's not like Rye doesn't like, to fight the things.
Great. So we will see you next time in Sleepless and Drakkenheim. Thank you for showing up. We'll see you then.
Yes.
What fun.
Yeah.
Oh,